the f is that? Bigfoot. Oh man, look at him.
What the hell is even that?
Yo! Wednesday. It's Wednesday. Welcome to your Wednesday edition of Mandatory Fun with me and all of you. 571, if you know, you know. Anyway, today we're going to be talking about cryptids, cryptozoology, specifically Bigfoot, Sasquatch, Yeti, whatever, Swamp Man, whatever you want to call them. We're going to be talking about that specific cryptid. I don't think we could talk about all like cryptids and cryptozoology in one episode of Mandatory Fun and do any of it justice. So we're going to talk about the squatch, and we're going to keep it squatchy today. We're going to go around the web. I know a lot of people have already put it in the chat. And so we're going to be discussing that, a couple other things, but then it's all squatch for all the rest of the stream. No, we will not be discussing that one movie, U571, at all. Not even a little. But again, I want to thank everybody for being here. Remember, the fun is always mandatory. Yeah. You know, I was working on a pre-intro for this stream, and there's a lot of footage of, shaky phone cameras and stuff, and the mega zoom, and people, oh, look, it's a Bigfoot. Oh, it's a Sasquatch. I wasn't going to splice all that together, so I found a funny one. I was like, we're going that route. That being said, I was working on that before I saw the news. I feel kind of bad. Does anybody remember yesterday when we were talking about Dolly Parton and this and that, and we were talking about war movies, mentioned Alec Baldwin and said, well, he was good in The Shadow. And then I said the thing about Tim Curry, and I said, oh, wait, Tim Curry's not dead. Anybody remember that? I do. Pepperidge Farms probably remembers too. So yeah, we lost Tim Curry. The Titan says, oh. You just read that. You can just read that. That's fine. Story time. What's up? Mandatory Fun. Day 3. Let's rock. You know it. Gun Bunny Customs. Good to see you. Duke Sir, 1865. If Yeti and Sasquatch are both real, are they the same species? It's a good question. I don't know. Maybe everybody can put their thoughts in. I would think, and I don't, you know what? I'm just going to star this. How about that? I don't want to crack that nut just yet. We'll get to it. That's the Squatch that triggered a massive flood in China. Ace's Place says, in my area of New York, a town called Whitehall has a national Bigfoot week or something like that. Something to that effect. Toy Odyssey says Bigfoot is real. Harry and the Hendersons told me so. Man, the ending of that movie is sad. Yeti, Eddie, same thing. Yeah, it's all the same. Sci-Fi Swamp Man says, I want to say there have been 9 creatures that were cryptids, but now are real, just rare. So that's another thing to bring up. When we talk about cryptids and cryptozoology and all of this stuff, the mountain gorillas were believed to be a hoax or fake or just myth, right? Until obviously the story of Gorillas in the Mist. So was it something like a staggering 90% of the species that are still around right now were discovered in the 20th century, and they're still finding new species all the time. So I'm just saying, not saying. Andy can't spell, caught the live, which is awesome. I was working on that. Oh, good for you, Christian Bale. And I ran out of time. I looked over and it was like 2 minutes, 57 seconds to go time. And I had to hit the button. So yeah, we're going to get to that here in just a second. Bear 11 Charlie, good to see you, my brother. Exactly. Yeah. The mountain gorillas. Yeah. They were believed to be a myth. Yeti and Sasquatch are probably related species with the same genus. And that's what I would think. I mean, look at humanity, right? Homo sapien as a species. Not all of us look exactly the same. So why not with them? Yeah. Keys collects. Northwest is very dense. There's some sort of primate in there. You know, it's funny. I have the BFRO website pulled up. Bigfoot Field Research Organization, BFRO. Yep. Mountain gorillas. General Grodd. Gorilla Grodd confirmed. Oh my God. Everybody's just glazing over this. Oh, Jimmy Olsen, Gorilla Grodd show. No, it's not going to happen. Brandon, what's up, brother? Good to see you, man. Crystal clear. They just discovered a few new species of spiders in Australia in the last few months. Yeah, they find new species all the time, all over the planet, in every environment. Don't forget about the Rougarou from Louisiana. Okay, yeah, we'll circle back around to that. Anyway, let's look at some funny, let's look at some WTF, and let's look at some sad by going around the web. Yeah. So we lost Tim Curry. Roughly the same time frame-ish as Dolly Parton, but still, you know, they go in threes. It's kind of the saying. Yeah, exactly like the Titan said, which I starred. Yeah, they do say they go in threes. So, yep. Sweet transvestite from transsexual Transylvania is no longer. He had an amazing life, an amazing body of work, and I'm just glad he entertained us for decades. You know, we can't all be here forever. I'm not trying to like wax philosophical about it, but I'm either going to watch The Shadow or Legend later for the man. One or the other. Yeah. But maybe we could all celebrate the life of Tim Curry by watching some Tim Curry movie today. But I'm going to pick one of those two. And yeah. I know him best as Sally's dad from the Sonic Saturday morning cartoon. Yes, Clue. Absolutely. What's Mandela effect? Yeah, it sucks. It definitely sucks. Living So Free is like, wait, did I just catch a stream live? Yeah, it only started 12 minutes ago. Look at that. It's crazy. It starts at the same time every day. Yes, he was in Home Alone too. I have to agree with Jeffy 100% that he held out and he didn't let that shit get the best of him. Yeah, he was a strong man and a fighter. So yeah. Oh yeah, he fucking rules in Legend. That laugh that he does as Darkness, oh, it's so good. Yes. He was in the Three Musketeers. The good Three Musketeers. Yeah, 100%. I already know what I'm watching. Rocky Horror Picture Show. Sonic Saturday morning episodes, Blast of the Past 1 and 2. The man who was deemed too scary for the Joker. Yeah, he would have been freaking awesome. His makeup in Legend was ahead of its time, 100%. Loved him in the movie Clue. Yeah. Yeah, fantastic actor. You know, he got his start on Broadway. That's how he got in the Rocky Horror Picture Show movie. Yeah. He was the original voice of Joker and Batman animated before Mark Hamill. He was the doctor in Hunt for Red October. He absolutely was on the Red October. Oh shit, Three Musketeers. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so many iconic roles. What a ride. Yeah. I mean, he left behind an amazing legacy, just like Dolly Parton did. The only tranny I respected. Out of the gate, you're just swinging, man. You're just swinging. Was he? Somebody look it up. Look it up. Somebody look it up. You want to talk about Mandela effect? Somebody look it up. Was he in U571? I swear to little baby Jesus. He said his favorite role was Long John Silver in Muppet Treasure Island. Oh, Annie, that's right. Grew up watching a lot of Annie with my mom and sister. Tim's wicked smile always freaked me out. Dust Tape says Clue will always be my favorite movie of his. That's awesome. James Lucas, good to see you, my friend. Yes, that's what we're discussing. The life and legacy of none other than Tim Curry. That dude could sing. He could sing. He could act. He had presence. He was commanding. Like, yeah. Oh, man. That's it. I'm watching fucking Legend. Tyler feels bad for him. Why? Because he died? Was he in a war movie? I don't know. Why don't you guys ask Sergeant Major Google? You guys are doing one thing. Okay, like that's probably assumption on my part. He was not in that submarine movie. That's right. He was Pennywise in the original It, the TV series. See? Yep. His Pennywise shits all over the new one. Agreed. 100% agreed. Milt Connor says, my son is a theater kid. He played Tim Curry's character from Annie. Dude, that's awesome. Justin Booth. You could argue his performance in Home Alone 2 was just as, if not more, hilarious than Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern. I would agree. Oh, he was in McHale's Navy. There you go. Yeah, it was Dolly Parton yesterday. But apparently Tim Curry died yesterday as well. Jedi Ben, what's up? Hail, man. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. I agree with Jeff. Death isn't the end. It is not. And that's why I tattooed what I tattooed on the backs of my hands. It is not the end. Rip Tim Curry, English legend, also Congo. He was in Congo. That's true. Doom Runners. All right. Jedi Ben also enjoyed him in Muppets Treasure Island. Him and Dolly were the same age. That's correct. They both died at 80 years old. So the news of her passing came out yesterday. The news of his passing came out today, but that he died yesterday. So I don't know if they both died on the same day. Sometimes it's hard to nail that down. Yeah. Brandon R. said, I had no idea he was in so many things. He was. He did a lot of voiceover work. He was also in space. Wild Thornberries. Yeah, he was the doctor in Hunt for Red October, on the Red October. Yeah. He was, even though they called him Darkness, but yes, he was in that. Oh, okay. So Dolly died Monday night. He died Tuesday night. We talked about her yesterday. Talk about him today. Gotcha. Yep, sure did. Remember what I said yesterday? we're all at that age where everyone we grew up with is going. Yep. Real monsters. He voiced Palpatine in the Clone Wars. He did, and then Sam Witwer took over at one point, right? Yeah. Ken the Band. Okay, I've finished eating my tacos. The show can keep going. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Milt Connor says 2026 is taking so many legends. Took my dad in January. Dude, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry about your father. I lost my father 5 years ago, and my brother 2 years ago. And I don't wish that on anybody, even though I didn't have a great relationship with my father. I mean, not even a little, but yeah, he's still my father. Tim Curry made Legend as good as it is. Movie would have probably sucked if not for him. Oh, God. I mean, it still had great set pieces and all that stuff, but yeah. A movie has to have one of those magnetic villains. You have to wait for every moment when the villain's on screen. Darth Vader did it. Darkness and Legend did it. And every time they're on screen, that's all you care about. You're just focused, laser beam on that villain. He freaking nailed it. I even loved his weird, like, dark, kind of manic, over the top in the shadow. Yeah. I don't think he brought enough tacos for the whole chat. No. He voiced Dr. Morocco in Transformer Rescue Bots. There you go. He was also in Tales from the Crypt. Sci-Fi Swampman says it's messed up. I said something about Gil Gerard just like you did yesterday, and the next day he died. Sucks. I don't think he did, but did he have any cameos in the new It movie? I don't believe so. He did a shitload of work in games. Yes, he did. 2026, Chuck Norris, Dolly Parton, Tim Curry. Yeah, Jane Fonda. Hanoi Jane. Still fucking out there.
What the hell is even that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was in The Shadow. Absolutely. Where's my tacos? It's your own fucking tacos. What does this look like? Some kind of socialist fucking free grocery store kitchen handout bullshit? He was he was in Earth 2. I'm just going to put this on screen. Wasn't there multiple cuts of Legend? Yes. Absolutely. And Ozzy. That's right. And Ozzy. Yeah. Yeah. Clint Eastwood. No one's seen Clint Eastwood in a long time. So. He was Kilo Khan in Superhuman Samurai Squad. And Hayden Panettiere. Yep. Ozzy died last year? Did he? How about? Okay. Look, I got to believe the chat. Ozzy died last year, and apparently U-571 is the most popular war movie ever. Ooh, the Titan says, I wonder if 80 is the new expiration because of a certain shot and its boosters. At the end of the day, the average male lifespan is 72. So, yeah. Well, when Clint goes, we're going to do a Sunday stream honoring the life and works of Clint Eastwood, just like we did for Chuck Norris. And it's not because all the fucking wackos are going to celebrate it. I mean, partly, right? We got to be the light in the dark. But it's Clint Eastwood. And that's not to downplay Tim Curry whatsoever, but yeah. Oh, Goonie Goo Goo. Icky, 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 patang, zwing, button. How about that? Ozzy and Hulk Hogan were 2025, literally 2 days apart. Thank you. Appreciate that. So we're just now catching up with the Amish on life expectancy? I guess so. There was a video of Clint Eastwood some paparazzi took. He was walking in his yard, looked rough, but he's close to 100. That is true. He is. Yep. He's a tough motherfucker, too. I'm sure he's still tougher than a lot of 40-year-olds. Yeah. Yep, that is true. Hal Jordan says 2026 can go F itself. No shit. Yeah, average lifespan for a male is 72. If you're not married, the average lifespan for a male is 172. Yeah. Say, has Mutron been here lately? Nope. Gorlock ate Sasquatch. No. Bob Barker died 3 years ago today. Oh, yeah. Man, he is so savage in El Camino. Is it El Camino? I don't think that's right. He was so savage in that movie. Gran Torino. Sometimes I have moments, kids. Ken the band, my oldest brother is 77. Appreciate that man every fucking day. Every day. Yep. At least all of these folks are immortalized on film. That is true. Yeah. I mean, we had great talent, great role models as we were all growing up. Damn, Carrie Fisher died 10 years ago. Was it 10 years ago? That's crazy. Jim Largo says, the sad thing is there's not even a handful of entertainers that can hold a candle to the people we've lost in the last decade or so. Absolutely. Yep. 2026 will be looked at fondly in a few years, unfortunately. Well, yeah, when Clint Eastwood goes, it'll be hard. Does he say, get off my lawn in Gran Torino? How is that not a meme? He does, while he's holding an M1 Garand. Yeah, and he says, I used to stack bucks like you 4 feet high and make sandbags out of you. Oh, yeah. He's savage in Gran Torino. Yep. Unforgiven. Oh, so wait, look, we're talking about Tim Curry, right? Tim Curry. Yes, it will suck when we lose Clint Eastwood. However, right, we're giving the due respect to this man right here. Duke Sir says, my dad just turned 80 August 1st. Again, love that man every day. My mother's 82. And every day I'm grateful to still have my mother. Favorite Tim Curry role for me is Cardinal Richelieu and the butler from Clue. Yep. He is good as the Cardinal, for sure. Oh, I see what you're saying. Crystal clear. Our first James Bond, like our generations. Yeah. Understood. Hey, Star Wars died 10 years ago as well. Who knew? Yup. Do you feel lucky? No, sir. Bush Wookie is imminent. His appearance in The Worst Witch is Cheese Camp Greatness. That musical number is so bad it's good. Gotcha. No, she died after Force Awakens finished filming. After. She died after they filmed The Last Jedi. Yep. because sorry, I'm having a moment again. Maybe it's just one of those days. The guy who did all the Jurassic World movies, who was supposed to do Star Wars Episode 9, he begged Roundheaded Ryan to change it, not kill Luke and let Leia die because they had lost Carrie Fisher. And he said, no. Yeah. So they had to reuse old footage, or they had to use unused footage from both The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi for her scenes in Rise of Sky. Look, that whole trilogy just sucks ass. Tyler says my grandfather's 82. That is awesome, man. Tim Curry's full motion video from Command and Conquer, that's right, are the bedrock of where memes come from. Space. I'm the butler, sir. I buttle. Mm-hmm. Tim Curry, check. BRB while I do the time warp to celebrate Mr. Curry's life. No shit, man. We should all take a jump to the left. Mm-hmm. Oh, shit. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, the Alleviator is here and says, excuse me, ma'am. Is your refrigerator running? Well, you better go and catch it.
Hey, potato.
You brought that on yourself. During the making of Home Alone 2, do you think Sir Tim Curry banged the pigeon lady? I have no idea. Maybe. Next year will be 50 years since Elvis died. I still remember my mom crying for 2 weeks. Yeah. I like when people ask me how old I am. I was like, well, Elvis was still alive when I was a kid. So, Elvis, man. They chewed that guy up and spit him out. So tragic. Brown coat, good afternoon. Good to see you. Just to let you know, oh shit, here we go. Brown coat has an update, kids. I rented Red Dawn last night. It was pretty good. I appreciate the urge for me to go back and rewatch it again for the first time. Dude, awesome. Awesome. It's one of those movies, the more you watch it, the more you understand what's going on. With, like, you know, they're kind of on the western side of the front lines of World War III and how all the lines have stabilized and things like that. It's a deep movie. Hi, Larry. Are you waving? Hi. Hello there. Tim Curry made every role his own and made them iconic. Absolutely. Yeah. Janet, Brad, Dr. Scott. Oh, Rocky. It's such a good movie. We just watched that a couple weeks ago. My daughter loves Rocky Horror Picture Show. 49er Brian, what's up? Good to see you. Yeah, Tim Curry's gone. We still have Barry Bostwick. I'm not going to do that. I'm not even going to try. Yeah. Nika Tronus, what's up, Ninja friend? Good to see you. Bada Doom, good to see you as well. 49er Brian says, my grandmother loved Elvis, especially his gospel. Oh, his gospel music is so powerful. So freaking powerful. Elvis should have stayed alive, man. He needed to help usher us into the 21st century. Yep. But again, like, they chewed him up and spit him out. My grandmother loves Jesus. Both of mine did. Yep. Titan says, loved his role as Long John Silver in Muppet Treasure Island. Again, somebody pointed out that Tim Curry said that was his favorite role ever. Yeah. Sam Neill too. Oh, massively talented. Yep. That's why Elvis is the king of rock and roll. 100%, hands down. You know. Come on, you know. What? Well, I don't know if it's ethnicity, but yeah, Elvis's manager. Yeah, we all know. The nose knows, bros. I just saw Baz, how do you pronounce that? Luhrmann? Epic Elvis movie. Elvis is a staple of Christmas records I spin every year. In my opinion, Christmas music belongs on vinyl. Agreed. My band was supposed to put out a Christmas EP, and then our bass player is being relocated, so I don't think we'll be doing that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Harry Dean Stanton's speech to his sons was heartbreaking and powerful. To whose sons? We're kind of bouncing all over the place, so I don't know whose sons we're referring to there. Not even a little. Led Zeppelin knew Elvis was the king. Well, yeah, of course. Sure. Even Selma Hayek's character from Dogma has to point it out to Jason Lee's character. That's why he is the king and you are a schmuck. Okay. Apparently, Elvis went into witness protection. He's making s'mores with Lay Bigfoot. Lies. I don't know. I have no idea what you're talking about. Yeah, I got my coffee right there. See? Oh, well, it's like half gone. I got it. Elvis passed away August of 1977. Correct. My mom saw Star Wars the day he passed away while pregnant with me and said I never reacted to anything the way I did when she was in that theater watching the movie. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Oh, avenge me. Gotcha. I gotcha. Thank you. Now I'm there. Mm-hmm. My 1-year-old son used to listen to the music from RHPS, Rocky Horror Picture Show. Mm-hmm. Elvis is the Sam Squanch, Sam Squanch that everyone sees. No. Elvis's 68 comeback special. More people watch that than the frickin' moon landing. Elvis performed one of my top 3 versions of My Way. Oh God. Were the other two Sid Vicious and Frank Sinatra or what? If you know Sid Vicious did that, then you know. No, see, Thomas Howell was not one of the sons in Red Dawn. No, the character of Robert, he escapes with them in the truck. And then the next time they go back and the guy with the cabin and the little general store, and Robert's like, oh, what about my dad? And he was like, oh, yeah, they killed your dad, son. Yeah. No, the brothers are Jed and Matt. Yeah. Wow, Chad Christmas album. That would be cool. Yeah, it was just going to be 3 songs. Who didn't love him in Legend? Oh, he's so good in Legend. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, my good friend Jay Bartlett is here all the way from the Great White North of Canada. I just got a notice from Vinegar Studios that my super awesome action figure adventure season 1 and season 2 with all the Jay and Rob toy show and the bells and whistles and all that stuff, it's shipped. It is on the way. I am excited to add that to my physical media collection of all your guys' awesome shit. Again, if you guys support Jay Bartlett and Rob McCallum, go to Vinegar Studios and check out their offerings. Menjosa says, in Red Dawn, Harry Dean Stanton's speech to Jed, etc., while in the camp was powerful and heartbreaking. It was. Especially when they leave and he's like yelling, avenge me. So good. Yeah. Oh, but anyway, I was referencing his amazing role in Soul Man. Gotcha. My brother, who died last year, was born 9 days before Star Wars released theatrically. I'm sorry to hear about your brother, man. I am sorry to hear that. Exactly. Mm-hmm. I just learned today, says JJ Dubecki, Elvis got his later on blingy look from Liberace. Who knew? I don't know. 49er Brian, bringing it back on track. Sasquatch is real. I've heard them here in Montana. Nothing else sounds like that. Yeah, we need to come back around to that. Absolutely. You just got a notification that I rock. Oh, how sweet are you, Jay? How sweet are you? I'm going to give you one of these. Speaking of Sasquatch. Yep. Yeah, it was Mr. Mason that told Robert. Yeah, absolutely. Does Jay ever see Sasquatch up in the Great White North of Canada? And then he says, yeah, he's in my backyard. Again, I have the BFRO website pulled up, and we can look at all the North America sightings, the United States and Canada. You know, they're separately cataloged, but we'll look at some stuff. Canadian Squatch is like super polite, eh? And knows where the best maple syrup trees are, hoser. I hope I did that well. Probably not. Yeah, man. Jay says, rest in peace, Tim Curry. Rocky Horror is still a top 10 for me. Absolutely. Yep. Does the Sasquatch sound anything like a fatal fluffy? Nope. Menjoza, are we making a distinction from Squatch, Bigfoot, Yeti, etc., Big Hairy Monster, Phenom, BHM is when they don't act natural and disappear? No. Because there are some people, cryptozoologists, all of that is one species. They're just like they're the same genus, but it's like humans. You know, not all humans look the same. Yeah. So Squatch, Yeti, etc., they're kind of all the same. Yeah. I don't know. We can get there. His actual name is Sam Squanch. Yeah, the skunk ape. Same thing, right? Mm-hmm. I did bless the rains down in Africa. I did. In fact, the last time I deployed to East Africa, it was their monsoon season, and I got in country, and everything was flooded. Yeah, it sucked. Curb Stomp, what's up, man? Listening while unloading trucks at work. There you go, my dude. Tim the Squanch. Yeah, okay, we're caught up on the chat. Let me see. Yeah, actually, he died yesterday. Just trying to make sure I'm good to go before we move on. Jersey Devil. Okay. I believe we are caught up. What the hell's my image? What the hell's an aluminum falcon? And then I'm just going to let you guys just kind of take this in. Take it in. Dad, why haven't there been any riots this summer? Well, you know, USAID got defunded. Act Blue and the SPLC, so it's kind of quiet. Yeah. Except for the DSA, they're still rocking. I miss the Jack Link's beef jerky commercials with Sasquatch. I added that for you, but yes, it's messing with Sasquatch. I almost used those commercials. So you did send me that. You did. See, you guys send me stuff. I share it. We incorporate it into the conversation. Didn't we lose Dr. Jeff Meldrum, who is famous for studying Bigfoot this year also? I don't know. Somebody could ask Sergeant Major Google and let me know. The Titan says the difference between a Yeti and a squanch is probably similar to the difference between a sheepdog and a murder dog, which is weird because I have both. Yeah. Look, that's a perfect way to put that. Right? I mean, I have an Aussie, and she is like the sweetest, friendliest, loves every dog, loves kids, loves people, wants to go outside of our courtyard and nuzzle the deer and hang out with them. And then I got Murder Machine right here behind me, and all she wants to do is MDK all the time. She's always at like an 8, even when she's sleeping. That's a perfect analogy right there. Anywho, yeah. So this was sent to me, and I said, that makes perfect sense. And then I thought about this. No offense to my Canadian friends. The caption says the sign wasn't necessary. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think they needed the sign? Or did they not? Look, let's just remove the sign. Yeah, I don't think we needed the sign. I don't think we needed the sign at all.
What the hell is even that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Titan says, give it time. The DSA will eventually run out of other people's money to spend. Well, that's how that always goes, right? Here in the SIP, is that what is the SIP? Is that Mississippi? I don't speak that shit. We have the Chattawa monster. He's like a squatch, but better. Sharing is caring. Is Chad secretly a Care Bear? Nope. Not even a little. Because if I was a Care Bear, they'd have to put me in G.I. Joe. Yep. A lot of the ultra-violent rap music has suddenly lost steam also. USAID or the SPLC. I mean, would you be surprised at either? Yeah. Yep. There you go. Don't forget, rap has left the music charts. Weird. It's weird. I got to get that freaking Rachel Zegler clip. Weird. HGC. At one time, there were links on Google Earth from a Bigfoot website or of sighting or vocalization areas. It was a great reference. There you go. Oh, this should have been the freaking poll. Death match. Who wins? Wampa or Bigfoot? Isn't a Wampa just a Yeti? I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't know, man. It says last year, September 25th, Dr. Jeff Meldrum died. There you go. Sasquatch hangout is Mount Shasta. Gotcha. This is not a squanch. No, it's not a squanch. It's a deranged leftist. Mm-hmm. It's not a squanch. Oh my God, I need a palate cleanser. Oh, whatever. That's all you get. Anyway, where's your palate cleanser? And then, now I want to talk about this. Not necessarily the group, because stay away from Facebook toy groups. They're all shitholes. Especially G.I. Joe Uncensored. It's a freaking joke. Uncensored, except for if you say stuff that we don't approve of, i.e. the message. Marked safe from holding on to another man's toys for too long today. If you know, you know. And I think we gotta do it. Impossible Pie is asking if that person ate a pen. It's some kind of fucking deranged communist Ronald McDonald, man. I don't know. What have I stumbled into? Mandatory fun. You know who that person is? Christia Freeland? Is that the normal looking person on the right? Anyway, we're moving on from that. Oh, Jesus. Justin Booth. I sent you the funny clip of Bigfoot taking a number 2. He screamed at the woman filming it. He says, I'm pooping. Stop. Yeah, Mississippi. Damn it, boy. Look, you don't. You do not freaking speak to me like that around here.
Everyone does it. Now you can do it too. Shut your mouth. Shut up. Shut the hole in your face. Like that.
You're welcome. Chad isn't from the dirty South. Real Southrons know the sip. Well, now I do too. Just saying. Let's take down the ADL. What the hell's the ADL? I know what the JDL is. I don't know what an ADL is. Something Defense League. Yeah. Can we take down CARE? You guys know what CARE is, right? Yeah, they got to go. Chad, should we give Jay's YouTube a shout out? You just did. Everybody knows Jay Bartlett around these parts, man. Me and him were like fucking peanut butter and jelly, Batman and Robin. Everybody knows. Mm-hmm. Has anyone seen the new documentary that supposedly shows Bob Gimlin and them practicing? Oh, the Patterson film in a suit? I have not seen it, but some say it completely debunks the Patterson. No way. No way. Rap songs today just sound retarded. There you go. Crystal Clear says Wampa. Michael Zimmerman could only be an I don't care bear. Since the SPLC has been on a downward spiral, so has Wazeism. Weird. Mm-hmm. Okay, Deathmatch Part 2. Squatch versus Bush Wookie. Original Darkhawk's like, yeah, I got here at the right time, baby. She's the best. She's the best. Like, opinions, right? We've all got them. That's the glory of, embracing differences, which some people don't like to do. I'm sure a lot of people would say she is not the prettiest woman out there in the world. She, she's pretty, but there's millions of pretty women in the world. But the fact that she doesn't take shit from anybody, and they tried to cancel her about that good genes shit, and she just stood her ground. She knows what she's worth, and she goes out and gets it. She does not fucking play around with these people. 49er Brian, I might just get rid of Facebook. It's a joke. Well, most of it's an echo chamber. Yeah. The legend of, is that Bogey? Boogie? Bogey? I don't know. Creek started my love, all things cryptozoology and paranormal. That and In Search Of. No way, man. No way. Yeah, you can't make this stuff up. You can't. The 1/18th group on Facebook isn't the only one I've been in where there is no drama. What 1/18th group? I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. Yeah, there's that. There's been a trend with Mr. Ben faking it all his life lately. Then when he starts piping up about things, it's for attention. Anybody remember when he freaking delaminated and had to write out his fucking life's memoirs about Citizen Vigilante? Talking about editing and effects and this and that and pacing and it's like, you don't make movies, you just help ruin them. Yeah. Anytime Larry Hama pipes up about something, it's fucking drama. Chad hurt my feelings. My mangina is hurt now. Ooh.
I don't know, man. Seems kind of gay to me.
Uh-huh. Am I Robin? I don't know. You'd have to ask Bardo if he's still here. He's like a ninja, man. He pops in and leaves. Robert, what's up, brother? Good to see you, man. Just imagine Jay and Dick Grayson's Robin gear, and now I need another cleanser. Nope. Nope. That's it. Only like 1 an hour, man. It's all nightmare all the time around here. Bush Wookie would win all the way. Gorlock versus all cryptids. Okay, I see one person chanting. if there's some more chance for the Gorlock, it might make an appearance. Just saying. Sydney is deliciously bouncy. 100 gorillas versus one Gorlock. Did you see Sydney Sweeney was flying on the wing of a plane recently? No, I did not see that. By all means, you guys know where I live on Instagram. Please send me clips. Yeah. To quote Asmongold, police body cameras have proven that 99% of perpetrators are batshit crazy and always start shit with the police. Well, that's what we can all thank BLM for, right? They wanted body cams because, oh, yeah, even though the guy had all that fentanyl in his system, it wasn't fentanyl that killed him, right? What happened? All the police had body cameras. That fucking blew up in your face, didn't it? Big time. Big time. And now they're putting them on ICE agents and federal agents. Oh, let's go. Yeah. Faking it his whole life. Is he about to transition? What's insensitive of me? Yeah. Was that supposed to be drama, Mama Hama? Larry Hama makes me think, oh my God, of a gayer George Takei. Oh, man, that's rough. He reminds me of my neighbor whose dog shits on my lawn and he refuses to clean it up. Yeah, fuck yeah. Oh. That's it. Gorlock. Yeah. Can I message you hi? Dude, you can message me whatever the fuck you want, man. The Titan, Gorlock versus all cryptids. Dang, I feel bad for the cryptids. Yeah, we just saw. Chad's more like Punisher, just saying. Me? Body cameras are racist. That was proven to be inaccurate. 100%. To be honest, I see tons of well-behaved people on body cams. I'm not going to nail it down to whites, but you can read that. Do you guys remember that skit by Chris Rock, like how to not get your ass kicked by the police? I think they need to show that in high school daily, and then maybe they'll learn when they become adults. Gorlock versus Mothra. Gorlock. What about Gorlock versus Mecha Godzilla? Michael Zimmerman, Facebook is only an echo chamber if that's what you interact with. I agree. I do agree. My Facebook feed is full of crap I disagree with because I can't pass a post about climate change or the DSA without leaving a comment. I spend a lot of time curating and tailoring my Instagram and Facebook. Like if I see stuff that I have no interest in or it's just bullshit, I just do not recommend. I don't just scroll past it. Like I literally, I tailor it. I mean, plus I have professional accounts too. So there's like a whole bunch of stuff going on with that. Not everybody can @ me. And I guess people get butthurt about that, but sorry, it is what it is. My shit is busy all day long, every day anyway. And I'm not chronically online. I mean, half of you know, I won't reply to a message from you for like 4 or 5 days. And it's not because I don't want to. It's just I'm busy. Larry Hama reminds me. Oh my God. I don't have it. I don't have it on here. I need to have it. You know, the racist, sexist, homophobic. I need to have that on here. Damn, dude. That's savage. Yep. We did it. We did it. She was there. The little brown girl next to Gorlock looks like she's afraid she's going to be a midday snack. Oh, yeah. Numbers never lie. But again, right, there's quantifiable things like statistics, trends, things like that. And then there's emotions. And people who are overwhelmed by their emotions will always say that their emotional reactions win. All the cryptids combined don't stand a chance against the Gorlock. Yeah. Jabba's Gorlock is what happens when you stick it in a hut. Mm-hmm. Brown coat, Gorlock versus a freight train. Yeah. Oh yeah, that skit was so good. Okay, we need to like Gorlock versus pre-GLP-1 she, her, Emily. It'd still be Gorlock. If you meet Emily, like if you exchange any kind of words with her face to face and you look her in the eye, nope, there's nothing there. If Chad sees stuff he doesn't like, Jeff will send it to him later anyway. That is true. Next week, we're going to talk about Rock Hard and all of these weird ass real life quote unquote superheroes. And that's all thanks to Jeff. All thanks to Jeff. So you guys can either all praise or chastise Jeffy for that. Have we talked about the skunk ape of Florida yet? No, we're getting to that. We're getting to that. Not to change the subject, but Megaforce. Yes! Watch that shit. Watch that shit, Mari. You know what? This is for you.
Even if your name is Chad, the good guys always win, even in the 80s.
See, and the awesome thing about that, not only is Barry Bostwick Commander Hunter from Megaforce, but he was also Brad in Rocky Horror Picture Show with Tim Curry. Rest in peace, Tim Curry. See how that works? Mm-hmm. I can do this shit all day, kids. You take 4 to 5 days to reply back, really? Sometimes. You don't want to see what my inbox looks like, man. You don't even want to see it. Actually, your response time was 2 weeks. Yes. Yeah, 4 to 5 days is unacceptable. I need instant responses when I send Instagram. I can't. Off topic, thought of a stream for you. A stream about music and your favorite bands and what inspired you to do the music biz. Would you guys want to do that? A stream about music? I don't know. Put it in the comments if you guys want to do a music stream. Back at it like an addict. What's up? Sup? Good to see you. Chad, did you see Paloma's post about Larry Hama being a dick? No. Maybe we'll follow up with that tomorrow. I'm not going to pause it to like put it in my Google Drive and no. Yeah. But good. Thanks for letting me know. Titan says the girl on the right is trying not to laugh as Gorlock is explaining that it thinks it's a 10. Yeah, I've seen. There it is. There it is, kids. Gorlock versus U571. The answer is still Gorlock or Asteroid. Oh, this one. This one. You know what I don't have on here? I don't have the Jeopardy music on here. But I don't know. What do you guys think? I'm giving it to Chuck Norris. That's going to Chuck all day, every day. Man, the Whatever podcast gets some beauties, doesn't it? Oh, yeah. Menjosa says, I know, right? I don't know why Instagram keeps showing me curvy goth Latina cowgirls. Because you hover over it, man. It knows. The algorithm knows when you stay on a thing for too long. You know what my Facebook shit is? Like, no joke. Recreational ponds. I look at, I told all of you, I don't do toy groups. I don't watch toy tubers. I do my own fucking thing. On Facebook, I look at a lot of like pools, lagoon pools, recreational ponds, which are basically like natural pools with, natural filtration and stuff. That's the shit that I look at. Promise you. Did Ryan say he sold Emily a Valaverse Snowtrooper at a con? Valaverse Snowtrooper. I know for a fact that at the New Jersey, was it New Jersey Comic Con or New Jersey Toy Con, whatever it was, the one that Valaverse and Hasbro were both at, that Emily did come up and she purchased one of the, again, even though I get called a Valaverse shill and a stan, words don't make it true. Was it Blowback? Whatever figure came with the ghillie suit, because she said that they couldn't make their ghillie suits as good as he did. So I don't know. And then later on, they all bought each other drinks. So Chad replies to you guys. You guys like my new handle? Yes, I do. Crystal Clear says, I don't worry about response time. I just assume you're busy. I'm always busy, man. I'm always busy. If I told you guys like everything I did this morning from the minute I woke up until I hit go live, you would just be like, what the fuck, man? Yeah. Jeffy's seen it. He's seen it in real life. Like, I'm a machine. Ken the Band says, I only get memes from cool people on Instagram and hate messages from fucktards. Same. I don't get a lot of hate messages. I just get a lot of screenshots of people talking shit about me, which is fine. I just go, and I move on with my day. No, Jeff, he never replies. Yes, I do, you liar. Yeah, Living So Free says, nah, I don't want to hear about your kiss the tip bit. Oh, my infinite playlist episode still gets views. Look, I get views, man. I get views. I don't know. Music stream could be fun. Maybe play some tunes for those of us that play/record. I'm down. Chuck Norris would win. Chuck all day. Chuck would more than likely prevail, but if Gorlock fell on top of him, Gorlock wins. I hope Gorlock has his brown pants on. Anyway, I'm trying to. Well, Gorlock was U572. 10,000 Gorlocks versus 100 silverback gorillas. It would have to be 10,000 silverback gorillas versus 10 Gorlocks. I don't know. Yeah, it was the ghillie suit figure. Deluxe sniper set blowback version 2. See, I don't know this stuff. I don't. So, yeah. New life goal. Change Chad's algorithm to nothing but toe straw. No. Yep. Say hi to someone and you get ignored. Nobody's ignoring you. Hi there. Chad is in fact a machine. And then I get yelled at for falling asleep on his comfy recliner. No, that's good. Oh, speaking of Chad, screenshot incoming. Fuck yeah. Send them all to me. Brandon says, gotta go. The cedars in my yard aren't going to cut themselves. You all have a great one. Dude, thanks for being here, Brandon. You should cut down your cedar trees and send me all your cedar. Big fan of cedar. Yep. Gorlock 8U571. G.I. Joe 66 is joining us listening from work. That's the way to do it, kids. The man's going to get every freaking minute out of you they can. You might as well give it right back to him. Living So Free says it's my favorite Valaverse figure. Cool. There you go. Anywho, so yeah, here we go. Mr. Faking It. Blah, blah, blah. Like, has anybody been able to get in touch with Mark Bellomo? Blah, 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 right? Why are you doing this publicly? He has all of my Joe vehicles and figures. He hauled them away before the pandemic to sell them for me online, and so far I have not received a single cent. Okay. See, here's the thing. Have any of you ever watched Mark Belomo's like videos or where he's going through his storage units? You want to talk about somebody that went from collector to hoarder? Mark Belomo has so much stuff. One, did he need Larry Hama stuff? No. Two, was he doing Larry Hama a favor to sell his stuff? Yeah. Three, when you sell stuff like that on, consignment or whatever, or somebody sells it for you, it is what it is. I have asked him repeatedly for an accounting and to return my property. At first, he made excuses, blah, blah, blah. I see he is on Facebook selling toys again. He has not returned my calls in over a year. Yeah. So Dreadnought sent this to me, and I said, it's funny. If I could, but again, right, Hama blocked me. Go figure, which is fine. Said, hey, it sucks when people fucking ghost you, right? I mean, Hama ghosted me because I said it was bullshit that people celebrated Charlie Kirk getting killed. God forbid. But 49er Brian says this sounds like Lego Gate 2.0. Yeah. According to Mark Belomo, it was 3 boxes. Larry makes it sound like it's an entire Joe collection. Larry didn't have this massive sprawling collection of Joe stuff. He just had the stuff that they would give him periodically. Yeah. My reply on Mark's post was pretty well liked. Is that on Facebook? Yeah. The Circle Jerks talked about this. Oh, of course. Of course they did. Please tell me that they were like slapping on them knee pads for Larry Hama. Yeah. Belomo replied very well. Look, I've had Mark Belomo on my channel. He is a very, very intelligent, very articulate. Yeah. It's on Facebook. Okay, I'll check it out. Hey, Nico, do me a favor on Belomo's post. Will you tag me? Like reply to your own or whatever, or just tag me somewhere on there. I want to see it. Yep. Yeah, Mark did it as a favor. He stored it as a favor. Yeah. Possible Pie says he's probably tried privately many times and is now going public. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I'm not trying to let my biases get in the way, but he does make it sound like it's not 3 boxes. And again, there's always one side, another side, and then probably the truth somewhere in the middle. Again, yeah. Thanks, dude. I appreciate it. Yeah, I have no idea about that. No idea about that. Photo Viper says, I told him to drive his old ass to Mark Belomo's and pick up his own shit. He blocked me. James Lucas, Chad, I texted you the link to Mark Belomo's post and screenshots. Cool, thanks. Yeah, we'll follow up on that tomorrow. They said Mark is a bad man. Yeah. Again, we all have our opinions. I'm not going to knock people for theirs. If I was Mark, I'd just ship it back to him with a note telling him sell your own shit. Yeah. Or why not just go to the police? Because Larry Hama, he's all about court of public opinion. He's just like those other people, like that fucking turd burglar in Australia, like a lot of these others. If they feel they don't get enough attention or recognition or validation on any given day, it's off to the races and make a public fucking spectacle. I mean, I don't need to go back to the infamous fucking citizen vigilante meltdown, do I? Like, how many movies does that fucking guy watch? Does he delaminate on all these other movies? No, he did it about Citizen Vigilante because he's a quote unquote Eisenhower Republican, aka I'm a fucking commie and I don't want to say it. I don't want to say the quiet part out loud. Yeah. Nicotronis says too many people are putting blind trust in Larry when he writes people off for differences of opinion. It's very unfortunate behavior on his part. Also, the same guy that said Snake Eyes Origins movie honored the character and his mythos. So I have more faith and trust in Mark than I do in Larry. Who said that? Gee, that's fucking dead on balls accurate if you guys have seen My Cousin Vinny. Yeah, and Dahmer calls Hama the goat. Well, but Dahmer doesn't know anything about G.I. Joe. He's just one of those tourists. Once G.I. Joe went 1/12 scale, yeah, okay, well, I guess I'm doing this now, too, with my Marvel Legends and my Punisher figure who likes to delete police officers. Oh, Nico says, I did. That was my comment. Dude, I'm going to make that the fucking comment of the day on one of these. Hell yeah, dude. He got pissed about Citizen Vigilante, but was totally cool with the last 3 I. Joe movies. What an absolute tard. Oh, he was totally cool with a ton of movies, you know, that supported the message or whatever. But, oh, you get a movie that fucking calls it out. Yep. Yep. There are 3 sides to a story. Yours, mine, and the truth. All of them are right. Yeah. I don't really know about that quote. Why are we talking about Larry Hama? Where's Bigfoot? Because we're still going around the web and you guys are talking about it. Yep. I can separate art from artists. Absolutely. 100%. Yeah. Anyway. Guess what? Chicken butt. Today's comment of the day, it's actually an older comment on a video. It's from 2 months ago. I didn't see it until like yesterday. I'm sorry. Sometimes when you're scrolling through your comments and stuff, like new comments don't show up as alerts, and so you have to actually like go down into the actual post shit. And I didn't see this comment until I saw it on my YouTube studio yesterday. Anyway, so today's comment of the day comes from Marco, our man, who's probably in the chat. If he's not, he'll be watching this on replay. And it was regarding my activism in toy collecting, gaming, and comics, which, you know, kicked most of this stuff off, me being every Istan phobe in the book. I'm going to skip the first part down. I do appreciate the sentiment, but I'm not here to like fluff myself. Marco said, the problem with being real in a world full of fakes and phonies, he's a big fat phony, is that they can't tell the difference. When everyone is playing pretend and lying, no one will ever call the other out, being just as guilty. You know, it's funny. Yeah, I had a little incident with that yesterday where somebody, right, again, that fucking dipshit from Australia, who is the chief shit starter of everyone, made a post. It was like partially about Skydrow Walker, but a lot of it was about me, right? Because he has this fucking weird infatuation with me. And somebody, you know, put a bunch of like 8 laughy faces as a comment. And I was like, oh, okay. You come to my chats, you send me messages all the time, but you're all about that. Okay. But yeah, there's a lot of people, they will be fickle as fuck and they will stab you in the back any chance they get. This isn't the same as the left's projection, first described by Saul Alinsky in Rules for Radicals. Yep. This is whole cloth fraud and delusion, talking about these toy activists and their, right, the communist ideologies that they support and nothing else. That's what you're up against. Very powerful among the equally deluded. Clearly clown rules to those who can still think. So Marco, if you're here, man, I want to say thank you very much for this awesome comment. It was well thought out. And I wanted to publicly apologize that I didn't see this comment for 2 months. So those of you who get all poopy poo that I don't respond to you on Instagram for 4 days, just remember that. Okay. Yeah. Squatch time. Let's go. I'll squatch. Yeah. I think Mark is an awesome guy. And while I don't know the complete details and everything that happened, I definitely believe what he says about it. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, it's between Mark Belomo and Larry Hama. I mean, that's it. You know? Oh, yeah. Never. So this guy right here was telling me yesterday that he had never talked to that dude ever. Never talked to him. And then somehow they start having like a messenger conversation. And immediately that fucking dude just like starts talking shit about me. It's like, were we even talking about that? It's weird. But again, you know, hey, come on, Larry is old. He might not even recall what he says anymore. I don't know. Excuse me, that's ageist. You're an ageist. Yeah. Chad talking shit about Paul Hogan again. No, I love Crocodile Dundee. 100%. Mm-hmm. Really? Ugh. Justin Booth. I think we can all agree the whole situation's a mess. Mark should just send Larry his shit and wash his hands of the matter. Agreed. But at the same time, that kind of a situation really points out that, one, people love a train wreck, right? They do. They just wait for train wrecks, or they create them, like somebody else we've been talking about. You know, everybody wants a bloodbath. And I said that a bunch in that video talking about toy activism. Like, they just want bloodbaths. It creates drama. Drama creates engagement. They get the dopamine rushes from all the likes and the clicks and the comments and the, oh, look how important I am. None of us are that important. But some of us can point that out and be okay with it. People, like, as soon as they saw this fucking Hama Belomo drama, you know, some of them were like, yes, I'm a fucking ambulance chaser. I can't wait. Now we got something else to talk about. As they sit on their hands and they wait for BMAC, you know, to give them something else to talk about. It's fucking weak, man. If we talk about pattern recognition, you know, pattern recognition. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I bet Larry Hama thinks Jane Fonda's hot. He probably thinks she's a fucking patriot too. Mm-hmm. You guys know what that is. Yeah. Nah, it's me. What's you? What are you talking about? Oh, yeah. He did that long ago. Long ago. Yep. Poor Larry wrote the comics you love. So if he is left, right, or someplace down the middle, he is definitely lost. He's not the only one that was responsible for those comics. Again, you can't sit there and take all the praise like you're the only person that did anything on any of these comics. In fact, issue 21, Silent Interlude, was an accident. It was an accident because other people shit the bed. So, you know, turn lemons into lemonades. Let's do this. Let's make lemonade. But he's not the only person that worked on the comics. Oh, God. All Diana Davis does is fucking, yeah. No, she's a fucking joke. I bet you she fucking donated to that GoFundMe for that woman that fucking deleted her children. How many of you would be shocked? Probably none of you. Yeah. Diana Davis is a fucking joke. Did anybody see when I had Mr. Robert Lava on and we talked about all that bullshit with Kenny and all the stuff that came out in Discovery, and Diana Davis threatened to sue us both? Get what? Get back. Fucking, you're not going to do anything. Yep. Like Gorlock versus the Train. Yeah. Oh, of course she is. Yeah. Photo Viper says it sucks if Mark gets stuck with the shipping costs for trying to do Hama a favor. You know what? At the end of the day, yeah, just wash your hands of it, man. And granted, should he have probably like done it sooner or responded to him? Of course. But then, right, you lie down with dogs, you get fleas. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I didn't like the Snake Eyes movie. I turned it off. Yeah, well, there you go. And this time, it's legal. Yep. Get fucked, stay fucked. It's Chad 2026. What's up, man? Good to see you. Mark ended up paying Hama $850. Small price to play. Yep. Hasbro is releasing a 30-inch tall 10 points of articulation Optimus Prime for $35 at Target. Yes, that is true. Mm-hmm. Oh, Son of GTO says, when I was at DFW, Mom and I shared an elevator with Larry, and I told him I got in on the campaign new compendium. He acted like he had no clue what I was talking about. There you go. I don't know. Whatever. Yep. Shouldn't have been made public, but that's life. It is. But again, right, Larry Hama's going to do that. He's definitely going to do it. Anywho, anyway, Bigfoot and his muscle machine. Yeah, we're going to talk about Bigfoot. Yeah, Jedi Ben says, again, read Mark Belomo's post. It puts it in another light. I do not disagree. I'm going to check that out. Redfin, I read that Carson Metaxas is helping out with the situation. Also, Hama didn't accept the $850. What, Carson gonna fucking run in and white knight some shit? Yeah, agreed. Shouldn't have been made public. Yeah, if I was Mark Belomo, I would not allow Carson Metaxas anywhere near that. That's just me, kids. But you know, I and a few others have learned the hard way with Carson Metaxas, sadly. And it is what it is, if you know what I'm saying. Oh, look at that shameless plug from my man. There's more info on the members-only Discord. Again, if you're a channel member, there's a channel members-only Discord. Hey, speaking of which, if you are a channel member and you haven't voted in the poll about which thumbnail to use for this Sunday show, get to it, because I'm closing that poll. Yep. Bam. Hey, kids. Want to talk about the squanch? Let's talk about Sasquanch. I have never done a stream remotely close to this kind of subject matter. I hope this is an enjoyable experience. We're going to see how it goes. I mean, yesterday we talked about war movies. We went 5 hours. It was friggin' hilarious. And that's thanks to all of you, right? You guys are the ones that make this fun. So let's see what happens. Mother Slug says, I'm lost today. I'll be somewhere here sitting in a corner watching and listening. Why are you lost? Because of the subject matter? Cryptids, Sasquatch, Yeti, Swamp Man, whatever. Yeah. Finally, some good news. Why? Because Flan Man's here. What's up, Flan Man? Good to see you. Thanks for being here. G.I. Joe 66. I will have to rewatch because I was out of the truck. Yeah, that's fine. Replay's always appreciated. When is Ramen coming to talk about? Soon. That's it. That's all I can say is soon. Until it gets locked in, right? I don't announce shit until it is done. No, I will say I'm working on this and I'm working on that. Can I have Bobby and Ramen on at the same time? There's no point. No point in having the two of them on together. It's completely parallel. Yeah, just like with Chuck Dixon, who will be on next Wednesday's show 1 week from today. Yay, same squanch. We can do the innuendo. We can dance it. Dude, why are you quoting Don Henley? Dirty Laundry. Now I'm going to have that song in my head. Jerk. Anyway, Squatch. Jersey Devil. We will talk about Jersey Devil at some point, but Jersey Devil is not related to Squatch, Yeti, anything like that. Yeah, okay. So we are... Look, Chris from Cutthroat, I'm sorry, man. I started this earlier. I meant to bring this up. Says, I missed the Chad car rants. Car rants are like the Spanish Inquisition, right? No one suspects the Spanish Inquisition. If you get that reference, Monty Python Flying Circus. Yeah, I mean, they happen when I see some WTF stuff and I feel like I need to do it. I don't think this Hama Balomo stuff is my business. I mean, I touched on it, but it's not my business. Yeah. You know, so yeah, car rants come when they need to. Pickett's Mill State Park. Oh, okay. I've spoken to a few of the folks who saw the squanch in Paulding County, Georgia on the website. There are a few hotspots that get repeat sightings. A marshy creek north of Dallas, Georgia, and Pickett's Mill State Park. This is all you guys. You guys are going to help drive this. I heard some insane vocalizations while at Pickett's Mill at dusk in 2012. Yeah, some of the commonalities with any kind of, we're just going to say squatch, and that covers all of them, right? Skunk ape, everything, it's all, we're just going to say that's all the same genus, all the same species. The smell, you know, rotting something like rotting meat or pungent, you know, very musky. The smell is always kind of generally described as the same. The vocalizations, you know, like the scream, the hoot, the whoop, tree knocks. Those are all kind of commonalities. And then there's the whole stuff about glowing red eyes. And if you guys have heard about that, glowing red eyes, they smell like Teen Spirit. Are any of the statistics you have found related to Dave Paul Dean's missing 411 stuff? I don't know what you're talking about, Dan. I don't know if you want to expand on that. So basically people that go to Comic Cons and don't wear deodorant, womp womp. Yep. Yes. There is also a commonality about tree structures. Yeah. They will like push over trees and you'll see them either like the trees are all knocked over with their roots still, the root balls still attached, or they're just snapped. And just the force required to snap those trees has got to be impressive. Jim Largo says, I went hiking in the Smoky Mountains looking for squanch. Just found a few bored black bears. I almost made a joke. Some people wouldn't take it as a joke. I'm just going to leave it alone. Yep. Crystal clear. I'm surprised where I grew up at Rocky Face, Georgia wasn't a hot spot for squanch. You guys want to look at Georgia? We can do that. Look at this. It's interactive. Oh, baby, New Mexico. If any of you ever get to hang out with the ma'am in person, ask her about her Chama, New Mexico incident at about 4 a.m. She'll tell you all about it. Where are we at? Where's Georgia? Oh, it's alphabetical. I was infantry. I'm kind of retarded. Let's look at Georgia. 147 sightings in Georgia. Charlton County, a Class B sighting, whatever the shit that is. Train spotters? Okay. Described nighttime incident at Folkson Funnel. Yeah, so there's just a whole bunch of incidents right here in Georgia. Rocky Face? I guess you looked. Well, there's Paulding. No, I don't see a rocky face. But yeah, I mean, look at all that. That's just Georgia alone. Obviously, you know, your big hitters are going to be your Northwest, right? California's got 471. Oregon's got 262. Washington, 733 friggin' sightings. Alaska, not so much, because Alaska is not, you know, not densely populated at all. There's a lot of huge tracts of land, if you know what I mean. Slacker says, I was in the Colorado not that long ago, and I swear there was something else up there with me and my group. Where in Colorado? I'll pull it up. I'm just saying, like, if you think that you've had some kind of experience, like, just say where. I'll pull that shit up, and then maybe it's like, you know, in the same grid square as you were. HGC says, I wonder if the Squanch doesn't like the noise from I-75 since it runs parallel to Rockface and Doug Gap. I thought it was Fresh Monkey Fiction. Or maybe they canceled theirs. I thought they did a big ass Squanch. I don't know. I'm sure somebody else answered it. Last time I was up at Doug Gap, the interstate noise was really apparent. Okay, gotcha. Georgia, Class B is vocalization, Class A is sight. See, look, that's called being value added right there. That's how you do it. Thank you. Appreciate that. Oh, man. Mother Slug says, I lost a few close friends over the last few weeks. It's kind of taking a toll on me slowly, so I'll be somewhere here. Dude, I'm so sorry, man. I'm so sorry. I mean, we're all here for you, man. Jim Largo says, I thought New Mexico only had chupacabra and meth heads. No. Boop. There you go. Woodknocks, forested riverbed. Where did I say the man would tell you about her experience from? Chama, motherfucker. Yep. Skeptical scientist has early morning encounter behind a gas station near Las Vegas, New Mexico. Hey, McKinley County. Yep. Otero, Rio Arriba. Yep. Taos, Socorro. Look at all this. Lincoln County has one. Los Alamos County has one. Well, Lincoln County is pretty sparse. Doña Ana County, that's like Las Cruces. Bernalillo, none. You know why? Because fucking Albuquerque. It's all metro. Yep. New Mexico's got a lot of open land. Reports per county. There you go. New Mexico. Mm-hmm. Most of it up north near the Colorado border. Mm-hmm. We need Bigfoot and classified. Let's fucking go. Stand by for the Circle of Simps to do a stream about that and make some CGI fucking classified Bigfoot. Yeah. Squanch loves national parks as well. Well, yeah, because they're protected, right? Rocky Face is in Whitfield County, Georgia. Thank you. You want me to look? I'll look. Bro. Whitfield, 1. One reported sighting, 2007. There you go. David has a series of books that he collected, mostly unsolved missing person cases, usually from state parks. There's this theory / wives' tale / whatever you want to call it in Alaska about people who go missing and squanch. So I don't know about that. Justin Booth with the public service announcement, ladies and gentlemen. Advice for people attending a convention, toy, comics, gaming, etc. Wash your ass. Wear deodorant. Brush your teeth. Keep breath mints or chewing gum. Thank you. Jim Largo says, most critters can smell you and stay away, but long before you can see or hear them. Yes, absolutely. They have amazing senses of smell. That's why, in the combat arms, we had this thing called SILS, right? Stop, look, listen, smell. Mm-hmm. Is there a verified body or skeleton, clear, reproducible DNA from an unknown primate, a living specimen documented by mainstream science? Now, I watch all the shows and see all the things. I don't know how much of it is for sensationalism and how much is not. It's kind of the same thing with ghosts. I watch a lot of ghost hunting stuff. There's stuff that you see happening going on, but I know a lot of people they've tested hair and it's come back unknown. But I don't. You probably have to do a shitload of internet researching on that. Slacker says just outside Colorado Springs. What county is Colorado Springs? I don't know, but see, your Colorado map looks cooler than where's Colorado Springs? Oh God, don't do that. Shit. Look at that. See all that? That's all Colorado Springs, man. Let's see if I can freaking zoom in on that. Holy Jesus. There you go. Look at that. Colorado Springs. Just saying. Not saying. Chad, did you watch when Jack Osborne went looking for Yeti? Yes, I did. I watch all of Jack Osborne's shit. Look, I have a shit ton of respect for Jack Osborne. Not that helps him sleep better at night or anything. That guy he free climbed El Capitan in Yosemite. Does anyone know that Jack Osborne is a sergeant with the Malibu Police Department? I bet you a lot of people didn't know that. I found out watching his Portals to Hell, which is a ghost hunting show, with Katrina Weidman, who did a lot of stuff with tons of paranormal investigating teams since she was in college. But yeah, Jack Osborne takes all this shit dead seriously. Now, the one that he did where he had Jason Mewes with him, okay. But that was like a whole, oh yeah, we have famous friends that go out looking for cryptids with us. That one's not the greatest, but Jack Osborne takes all that stuff dead fucking seriously. 49er Brian says Forest Service covers up many squanch stories and sightings, especially from their own employees. That is true. There are a lot of reported stories that their higher ups will cover that up, and the federal government too. I'm not trying to be all tinfoil hat. I'm just saying what I've heard, what most of us have heard. Yeah, they did a big ass gorilla. There you go. Ken the Band says, I would imagine majority of squanch sightings in California are actually drugged out, crazy ass homeless population. Well, I'm glad you're here, Mother Slug. I appreciate you, my dude. 49er Brian says, you don't want to meet one. I've got friends that have. They were terrified. Militant pot growers in ghillie suits. Oh my god. Menjoza, what does everyone think Squanch and others are? Unknown primate, interdimensional, paranormal, alien. There are some people that say that they can cloak and they're my camera lens just Hi. I don't know what. Literally the shutter just closed on my camera. We'll edit that. We'll edit all that out later. Don't worry about it. There are some people that say they can cloak and do all sorts of weird stuff like that. If I was going to put any kind of personal faith in anything regarding Squatch, Yeti, whatever you want to call them, it would just be that, yeah, they're like some unknown primate species. I mean, primates are really intelligent. They're very strong. Again, see back to the discussion about the mountain gorillas, right? The whole gorillas in the mist thing. They were thought to be like a myth, a legend, and all that stuff. But was it Diane Fossey, right? They even made a movie about it with Sigourney Weaver. A lot of species get discovered all the time. It's kind of is what it is. I mean, it's like the thing with elephant graveyards, right? So probably hairy giants. Fresh Monkey Fiction made Chadsworth the Squatch, but the crypt from Loose Collect. Did they really call him Chadsworth? Did they? Sue them, motherfuckers. There's a lot near me in Ohio, but it could be some hairy libs. What's up, Mad Mike? You want to look at Ohio? Let's look at Ohio. Oh man, I gotta dial this shit back. That's crazy. 335 sightings in Ohio. That's nothing to shake a fucking stick at. Mad Mike, what county in Ohio? Because this is all by county. If you let me know in the comments, I'll go back to it. Squanch are smart enough to take care of bodies. Well, and that's why I mentioned elephant graveyards, right? Because that's an actual thing. Oh, loose collector and cryptoid toys. Cryptoid toys. That's fucking. That doesn't roll off the tongue very well. Were the ones who did Bigfoot Squanch. That's correct. 2 miles outside. Okay. Photoviper says, with this number of sightings, I find it hard to believe nobody has good cell phone footage. I mean, everyone carries a camera these days. I think a lot of good cell phone footage, and yes, I'm air quoting, is in the eye of the beholder. Has anyone seen that fucking police dash cam video where he's just driving like on the side of a hill and there's like the guardrail and there's that one on the fucking coming over the guardrail and he like barely catches it on his camera? I'm just saying, like, there's some footage out there, a lot, that really makes you kind of sit up and think about it. But that's the thing about all of this stuff. Cryptozoology, what were the pyramids really built for? Extraterrestrials, UFOs, USOs, that's underwater submersibles. All of that stuff, like, you either believe or you want to believe or you don't. Or you need hard proof. That's just kind of the camps. It's like God, right? There are some of us who, like, we firmly believe in God, like all that stuff. And then there are some that are like, no. Same thing. Lara Croft versus Squanch. It's inevitable. Someone tell Vala he's going to need to do an action Squanch. Squanction. No. Sasquatch was incorporated into the game SCP. I have no idea what the game SCP is. classified as a Keter class entity. All that went over my head. Got to expand on that. I don't know what SCP is. Everyone asks. I love this meme, man. Everyone asks, where is Sasquatch? But no one asks, how is Sasquatch? Yeah. HGC says, just a theory, knowing a few National Park Service people. They don't want to have to go out into the boonies of the more remote park sites to rescue any more dumbasses than they have to. Again, I mean, look at all these pilots. Look at all the stuff that's been coming out about, in-air footage of UFOs and all the pilots, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pilots. Not only the ones that have been coming out more often lately, but the ones that have been keeping it quiet because they don't want to lose their jobs. So more Squatch sightings at a place means more folks trying to find one. Yeah, I'd agree. I'd agree with that. Pi says that's the stuff I would need to see for me to believe Bigfoot is real. That goes for aliens and other things of that nature. Well, I get it. Trust me, I totally get it. Nothing wrong with that. People don't prep very well when going to the more remote national park sites, more often than not. No, that's true. I know what they sound like. I get away when I hear them. Yeah, I mean, anybody who watches anything on Bigfoot, like, you're going to hear the vocalizations, the recordings of them. Snot Lips says, I never found the Sasquatch in GTA San Andreas. Snot Lips, I was today years old when I found out that there even is supposed to be a Sasquatch in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. There's a Sasquatch mission in Ghost Recon Wildlands. Actually, it's a Yeti. Right, so, yeah. Spoiler alert, it's not a Yeti. It's some asshole sniper in a white ghillie suit. Yep. These animals are highly intelligent and know how to evade like a friggin' ninja. Most animals are. Like Jim Largo pointed out, like, they can smell you and hear you. Especially the prey animals. They're great at hiding. They're great at it. It's the same thing with the predators, like, especially the ambush predators. I have a herd of deer that live in my HOA. Many people have seen, like pictures and reels and things like that. An entire fucking herd. There's like 20 of them. Sometimes I don't see them for days on end, and then I'll see one. Then a week later, I'll see 9. Doesn't mean all 20 of them aren't around. It's just kind of how it is. Anytime you go, into like the deep forest, like dense areas, you don't see that far. Those of us who have, been trained and are efficient at land navigation through unbroken terrain, it's not easy. So again, I'm not saying like Sasquatch is 100% real. I'm just saying there are a lot of elements to consider. This right here, too much American Indian folklore about hairy giants for there to not be something to it. Absolutely, especially here in New Mexico. To include skinwalkers. And the Navajo don't want to talk about skinwalkers. Probably was a real critter, but is extinct by now. Think about the Californian bear. Right? The woolly bear. The woolly mammoth. Yeah. I mean, the bear on the California state flag, that thing's extinct. The dodo, Tasmanian tiger. Apparently the Tasmanian tiger made a comeback. I don't know if anybody's tracking that. But HGC says, I 100% go into tinfoil zone hat when it comes to cryptids, ghosts, and UFOs. I got to live on the edge. It's one of those things, right? The only thing between a skeptic and a believer is an experience. That's it. Even Impossible Pie, the only difference between Impossible Pie believing and not believing is, that hard scientific proof. Corpse, DNA, etc., etc. Got it. Understood. But all it takes is one experience to make you be like, I don't know what the hell that was. So, hi, Tyler. Chad went into cloak mode. Apparently I did. I was just like looking around doing my thing, and then I saw out of the corner of my eye, my little boop, screen went blank. Yeah, Mother Slug, we were talking about that earlier, man. We spent a good deal at the beginning of the stream talking about him. Apparently we need to go ask Sigourney Weiner about the squinch. Yeah. Les Stroud of Survivor Man was a non-believer until he was filming an interview. Oh, as you were filming an episode in Alaska and heard some stuff that made him rethink his belief on the subject. And that guy wore a wetsuit vest out of a seal carcass. And he hung out with Gina Carano. Not saying, I'm just saying. So, again, right? All it takes is an experience, and it doesn't matter what it is. So, Ohio Grassman. Where in Ohio? I believe this is still Ohio. Give me a county. Yep. Rest in peace, Tim Curry. Interdimensional, says CG7. Really? You think Sasquatch is an interdimensional being? See, that's something I can't. I get the whole string theory and all that stuff. And, dimensions are like bubbles. And sure. Okay. Again, arguments. You're just arguing theories. That's what science is. However, I think it's more plausible, more possible that Sasquatch, in all its names and iterations, is literally just a primate. So, 49er Brian, I'm sure I'm getting laughed at here. I don't know who's laughing at you. I'm not, man. I'm enjoying it. 100%. I actually quit hiking over this subject and mountain lions. Yeah, mountain lions, man. Especially here, when the ma'am and I go hiking with the girls. We strap up the girls, if you know what I mean. I just put a little pew pew on them, and I always open carry. I will open carry when I go into the wilderness here in the old New Mexico. Robert's Infinite Realm says here in Kentucky it's just inbred hillbillies. Dude, that post of your gorgeous dog that I saw this morning, I love it. Possible Pie says, I believe Jimmy Hoffa will be found before an alien shows up on anyone's front door. They will never find Jimmy Hoffa, period. Never. Not going to happen. 49er Brian says, there's a lot of footage, but mysteriously it disappears or it's grainy. There's also a lot of paid professional debunkers. Not saying, just saying. Photo Viper, I'm a believe it when I see it kind of guy. I absolutely respect that. 100%. And again, all that just goes back to the only difference between a skeptic and a believer is an experience. What's that? No, I'm not saying every skeptic will be a believer once they have an experience. It's just that's what is needed. Different AI analysis keeps saying the old original Bigfoot video is not a man in a suit. Dan says, I think you would have to clear out a lot of sand to have a better understanding of what the pyramids were really built for. There's no markings inside those pyramids whatsoever. Nothing. Nothing at all. If any of you have ever been to the Giza Plateau, and again, there are lots of geographical locations that have more pyramids than Egypt. It's just, the Sinai Peninsula, and they're the most famous, mostly because of Napoleon. See, I know stuff. Shut the fuck up. If you've been there, there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of examples of Egyptian tombs that are nothing like those structures at all. I mean, you got to think about it. Just saying. And I've heard all the theories, all of them. I've spent time with Giorgio Tsoukalos, like in person, IRL, like standing a foot away from him. Justin Booth says the Navajo have legends of the skinwalker. Yep. A witch that can transform into various animals. That is true. Yep. My band wrote a song about skinwalkers. It's quite popular with the Navajo. It's possible they'd transform themselves into a squatch. Pyramids are just tombs for pharaohs, correct? I don't believe so. There has never been a mummy or a body or whatever found in a pyramid, period. And not all of them were broken into. None. Not the step pyramid, not the bent pyramid, not the three main kings pyramids on the Giza Plateau, not the quote unquote queens pyramids. None of them. Not a single one. Jesse, what's up, Jesse? Ladies and gentlemen, my good friend JLS Comics is here. Good to see you, buddy. I do want dragons to be real. I believe in a lot of stuff, right? There's a lot of stuff that I do believe in. There's a lot of stuff that I don't know. It's like, quote unquote, above my pay grade. And then there's other things that I'm like, no, absolutely not. Dragons, somebody somewhere found a dinosaur skeleton, and then they were like, oh, they're dragons, man. I understand a lot of cultures have dragons. Japanese, Chinese, yeah. Bronze Age, all that stuff. Do they sound like this? There you go. Probably not, no. James Lucas says, you're either convinced of Bigfoot's existence or God. Does it have to be one or the other? Or something potentially supernatural, or you're not convinced, or you're simply and honestly saying, I don't know. That's a lot, dude. Are you saying you can either believe in Bigfoot or God? Is that what you're saying? Check this out. I believe in God. I talk to God. I believe in Bigfoot. I believe in extraterrestrials. I believe in ghosts. There you go. Because I can. HGC says, I haven't run into a large feline or the AT. What the fuck is an AT in North Georgia? But have run into larger black bears and wild pigs. Wild pigs are terrifying. Yeah, well, that's why people get paid to exterminate them in a lot of states. Dark Preble, is that Dark? Dark Preble and Champaign counties, I hope I said that correctly, have been mentioned over the years, even on local news, going back 45 years, says Mad Mike. 2 sightings in this one. Well, as far as BFRO goes, none in Dark. Preble has 5. Yeah, man. Where you go? Frickin' Ohio. SCP, Secure, Contain, Protect, fictional database. Fun fan fiction. I'm not worried about fan fiction. Jeffy says, pretty sure Big Cat and I saw something in Mojave County near Peach Springs at like 3 a.m. near some caves. Probably a bear, maybe not. There you go. Is that Arizona, Jeffy? Is there a Mojave County in Arizona? Boom, 2 sightings. There you go. Again, right, just because there's a database on the BFRO website of sightings in specific counties where people may or may not have seen something, doesn't mean it's like, oh, yeah, there's all the evidence I need. But, you know. Secure, Contain, Protect is a hidden organization that protects humanity against hidden and dangerous entities. They're classified based on their difficulty of containment. Kind of sounds like Monarch. Just saying. They range from safe to GTFO. I made that up. G.I. Joe 66 says, the Squatch, I think they terrorized and ate a whole bunch of people up in Alaska in a town. There was a documentary on it. There's a lot of documentary exploration. Ooh, look at me in the big words. Regarding missing people and cryptid sightings in Alaska. A lot. Still drinking coffee, by the way. Fucking Jesse. Nothing magical about it. They're made of flesh and blood. You take out their heart, you bring down the beast. If it bleeds, we can kill it. Jesus. Justin Booth says, PSA for all you Chad holes. Stay away from them dry creek beds, or you'll be graped by a female squanch or male squanch. You know if he's gay. Are you talking about that guy that like claims that they keep assaulting him? Yeah, California Bear got its monkeypox booster. Yeah. As of 5 years ago, the Louisiana Jaguar was a myth, but then, oops, several were caught on trail cams. There you go. There you go. Is it real? Predator is good at hiding. So I've heard. You know what else is good at hiding? U571. I'm surprised nobody said that. A tracker / hunter friend of mine, says Keys Collects, talks about hearing cougars around them tasting the air. Yes. Cats will do that. House cats do that. Any of you with house cats? Right, you guys all know that sniffy face? Sniffy face that cats make? That's what they're doing. They're tasting the air. Yeah. They brought back the dire wolf. Really? I'm not going to read this. I'm just going to leave it on the screen. Read it yourself. Yeah. I'm not going to read this either. That's not a myth. The female orgasm, that's a myth. Good movie quote for you. HGC was at a scout camp reservation in central Georgia. Gay! And a group of folks out that weekend while I was there had something tracking them all Saturday afternoon into the dusk. That is another commonly reported behavior associated with quote unquote Sasquatch. If you're in their territory, they will kind of corral you out. Yeah, that's another one. Got freaked out at vocalizations and they GTFO'd. Came to find out that a mountain lion had been spotted a few miles south of the place. So yeah, mountain lion was probably stalking 3 grown-ass dudes. Maybe. You know, a lot of people, just because they know of the existence of large cats doesn't mean they know what large cats sound like. A lot of people our age, around our age, are surprised to hear what a cheetah actually sounds like. Cheetah, they don't roar. They fucking chirp. So there are a lot of people that they don't know what's going on in the wild. So Pi says, I believe time travel is real. What? There's a news report from the 80s with this guy buying Star Wars toys saying these toys will be worth a fortune someday. Ugh. Jesse, in 2008, they discovered a colony of over 100,000 gorillas in the DRC, Democratic Republic of the Congo, right? If they can go so long without being seen, a few North American primates can live under the radar easily. There you go. And before you showed up, Jesse, yeah, we were talking about the mountain gorillas, the whole gorillas in the mist thing, and how they're believed to be a myth or a legend. In designs, I always thought the way big footsteps can stay hidden is they have underground tunnels and caves that lead to important pop-up spots. Could be possible. They could burrow. I don't know. People believe the megalodon shark is a real thing, but study shows no actual evidence has ever been found of any. Teeth? There's megalodon teeth. But, I mean, sharks' skeletons are made out of cartilage. You're just going to find teeth. But people find megalodon teeth. I don't know. Somebody either fucking substantiate or refute that. From my understanding, megalodon teeth have been found all over the place. But stories become tall tales and become myths. Only giant of ocean is the giant squid. But see, even the giant squid, right? How long did it take to get giant squid on camera? And then once they did, there you go. I mean, look at sperm whales. I said sperm. Sperm whales have all the sucker marks on their heads because they dive real deep and they hunt them. Yep. CG7 Cobra says, we can't find them because they're interdimensional. Do you really believe that Squatch is an interdimensional being? Yes or no? That's all I want to know. If that is a man in a Bigfoot suit, that's one well-made fur suit. Agreed. James Lucas renewed his channel membership. This for you, baby.
Wolverines! Hell yeah!
Yeah. Emperor Napoleon Dynamite, that sumbitch shot off the Sphinx's nose with a cannonball. Yes, they were using the Sphinx's head, even though most of it was buried under sand dunes. They were using it as target practice. They absolutely did. However, it was Napoleon's expeditions that found the Rosetta Stone and translated all those hieroglyphs. So I'll take it. I read Michio Kaku's book. That dude is smart as fuck. Hyperspace, just before watching Mothman Prophecies, and it definitely made me wonder. I guess that's the way to do it. Speaking of poor quality, how about those camera shots taking outside of the mall in Miami in 20? Dude, please expand on that. Please. What camera shots outside of a mall in Miami? What is that regarding? Is somebody saw a Squatch in Miami? Was it wearing a thong? Largo says people underestimate the power of nature to obscure stuff. Hundreds of pyramids and cities were swallowed by the Guatemalan jungle and never found for hundreds of years. Correct. Yep. And that whole part of the world has way more fucking pyramids and ancient cities and structures than any of that shit in Egypt. Yeah. Okay, this is funny, but it's also a little dark, and it's true. They did find bodies at the pyramid in Vegas. So you're talking about the Luxor casino resort. Lots of deaths there. It's supposed to be like ridiculously haunted. If you know, you know. Watch some documentaries about the Luxor. Crazy. Like the dude that jumped and landed in the frickin' the buffet. Tons of that. Yeah. Keys Collect says archaeology is upside down. The more advanced stuff is the oldest with less advanced copies coming later. Okay, so you're talking like extinction level events and all that stuff and ancient civilizations. The crazy thing is when you get into these kind of theories, older structures, larger, heavier stones. They could work them, they could manipulate them, they could move them, they could place them. Later, archaeological sites like newer, smaller stones. So there's something there. There is something there, you know, and then people get into like the whole fucking 0 point energy, and then you're down the rabbit hole, and I don't know. I don't even know. Yeah. According to Stargate, pyramids are landing sites for spaceship. Look, that movie was freaking awesome. Plus, you know, it's got the man Kurt Russell in it. If dragons had cartilage skeletons like sharks, there wouldn't be any fossils. Again, it's just, look, it's just my opinion. It's just my theory that the whole thing with dragons is because people were finding dinosaur skeletons. I don't know. The bush Wookiee is a sassy squatch. Yeah. We got to figure out if bush Wookiee is a man or a woman. Maybe bush Wookiees are just asexual. They asexually reproduce. Sasquatch was on the same plane with that woman. That man ain't real. Oh my God. Mother slug. Approximately 8.28 to 8.31 billion people on the planet Earth, and no one has any real hard evidence or great footage. Dude, I love your picture. That's awesome that you changed it to darkness. No one has any real hard evidence or great footage of a Bigfoot. How strange given the technology we have, but nobody can catch it. I don't buy it. There you go. That's it. Mother Slug has spoken. I appreciate it. The Appalachian Trail. Oh, okay. Thank you. Appreciate it. You got to spell that shit out, man. You guys know how much stuff I'm doing at once. Plus, now I got to deal with these motherfuckers from Hasbro. See, I could just effortlessly do that. If there's a steady paycheck involved, I'll believe anything you say. That's a big Twinkie. I fucking love Winston Zeddemore. Yeah, it's Arizona. Big Cat was my partner in law enforcement. It was on a dash camera for a while. Dude, that's awesome. Mother Slug wants to catch the leprechaun because of his frosted Lucky Charms. I would think you can just go to the grocery store. Yeah. Lord of Brooklyn is screaming that Sasquatch is real. You can buy his action figure. You can buy his action figure from Marvel Legends.
I ain't got time to be distracted by your worthless chime-ins. Gone.
Just kidding. Have you been to Archuleta Mesa? Is there another name for Archuleta Mesa? Is that I'm having a moment. I'm sorry. Is that Sky City? Acoma Pueblo? Is that what you're talking about? Sky City? I don't know what you're talking about, Jesse. Maybe. I don't know. HGC says the only thing I found at the end of the rainbow was a janky ass barbecue shack. Oh my God. Yeah, cats have sniffy face, man. Anyway. There's a great PC game called Nocturne set in the 1910s where you fight against supernatural forces. Flanman recommends it. You know what? I would recommend Nightmare Creatures. Speaking of cryptids, I'm not saying, just saying. That's the joke. They brought back dire wolves. Oh, before George R.R. Martin finished Winds of Winter. He's never going to finish his books anyway. First of all, fucking Dan and Dave just destroyed. They utterly destroyed Game of Thrones. Like, how do you fucking pick up the pieces from that? Dan says they didn't bring back the dire wolf yet. Like the process, they are working to bring mammoths back. They need to breed a few more generations in order for it to actually be the Pleistocene animals. I know about the Pleistocene era. Don't you talk down to me. Jason Statham fought a couple of them. The second movie's fucked. It's like it was written by some Ritalin fucking doped up idiot. I saw a documentary about gorillas starring Tim Curry. It was called Congo. Yeah, and there's like a laser weapon in there. Amy. I know. Yeah, man. We were all talking about him and his life's work earlier. Yep. There were multiple alien sightings inside the mall? What? I have not even heard of that. Do I even want to read this? While Megalodon's existence is dubious, says Hasbro headquarters, Lord of Brooklyn, there is a shark who is known to be real. Jeff the land shark. Oh my God. I love it. Napoleon versus the Mummy. The crossover we need. Not if it has fucking Joaquin Phoenix. I can't stand him. He sucks. Yeah. I don't like him in like anything. Yeah, the Luxor. There's some crazy stories about the Luxor. Teeth and part of a fossilized backbone were found for a megalodon in Belgium. I can't pronounce this, Mad Mike. I'm sorry. St. Louis, ancient civilization and buried pyramids. Boom. There you go. I've been to bumfuck Egypt, a.k.a. South Camp. You've been to Sharm el Sheikh, dude? I bet you thought I didn't know, huh? Did you think I didn't know? I bet you when I said that, you were like, oh, this guy's been around. I've been everywhere. Everywhere. Yeah. Great snorkeling and diving there off the Red Sea there, the Gulf of Aqaba. However, there were a lot of fucking shark attacks. So, see, and that's the same thing. Like sharks are always in the water. Always. Does it mean you're going to see a shark every time you get in the water? No. A black pyramid in the desert and lots of death. I'm shocked. Shocked, I tell you. Kurt Russell was the bomb in Stargate, yo. So was Ben Affleck in Phantoms. The theory with Coral Castle in Miami. Yes, the guy who built that frickin' I know. I know that you know that I know what you're talking about. Is the builder knew the ancient secrets to move those massive stones himself. Right. 0 point energy. Exactly. Let's not find out. Keeps the mysterious aura about it. Okay. The Titan says, looking at the pyramids of Giza, you have to wonder what culture can make up a mega structure perfect on its first attempt, but can never replicate that on any other pyramid after. Not only that, the way that they're aligned with a certain constellation, the way that like their cardinal directions and things like that, like just the math involved with building those pyramids is retarded. Now you look at the people that live in Egypt, they don't even put mortar between their bricks on their buildings. They don't put windows in their structures. They shit in the street. They throw garbage out their windows. No, not even a little. I mean, granted, they're not the same peoples. Yeah. Oh, Pete, you drove past the Coral Castle on your way to the Keys. Where did you go in the Keys? I used to spend all my summers in Key Isla Mirada. But Chad, you were in the Army. Don't you know all the acronyms? In regard to what? The Dulce Basin? The basin? Yes. Been there. Tellus Science Museum has the largest so-called megalodon jaw and teeth, but that doesn't mean it was a giant shark. Just like the basking shark has the largest mouth, but the smallest body? What? Basking sharks are huge. What you talk about, Willis? What's up, Gerard? We are talking about Bigfoot. We're looking at Bigfoot sightings. That's what we're talking about. You guys wanted to talk about freaking Bigfoot, man. Here we are. You guys want to look at some Canada shit? Interesting, right? International reports. Look at that. Australia has 1. Fucking Australia. Russia has 5. Malaysia 36. Okay. 66 in Ontario, Canada. 137 in British Columbia. So basically, Oregon, Washington, and California fucking take the cake. Washington State has 732 sightings. Ohio's got a shitload. Sarge! This interdimensional stuff is all theory. I'm just throwing it out there. I will be gone when you read this. Oh, I hope you're not gone. Is that like an interdimensional joke? Sites like all the pyramid locations across the world, including the hidden ones in China, which are a thing, and other mega sites like Gobekli Tepe, yes, prove there was so much lost knowledge technology. Agreed. Absolutely agreed. Yep. Yeah, that's the extinction theory. Mother Slug says maybe Bigfoot only has big feet, but is small like a troll. Yeah, Amy, bad gorilla. Amy. Hell, Eddie Murphy's uncle is Bigfoot that drive around Goonie Google. Oh my God. HGC, that reminds me, what was the consensus of those orbs over Phoenix in the 90s? That was one of the largest mass sightings ever on record. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that was the thing. I'm not going to read it. You guys can read it. It's right there. Mm-hmm. Well, I ain't free. Yeah, exactly. Bigum. I always make my wife watch cryptid / ghost hunting shows. She hates me for this. Nah, the ma'am's all about it. Every night when we go to bed, it's something about cryptids, aliens, Bigfoot, all that stuff. All of it. George R.R. Martin, who lives here in New Mexico, and he's quite the eccentric fucking weirdo leftist, has completed the Game of Thrones saga. The final book will be released posthumously. Remember, you heard it from me first. Yep, somebody said Megalodon. Yeah. Kurt Russell even saw those Phoenix lights. Really? Are you serious? Was he sitting in U571? Hey, was it here when we were talking about Vietnam soldiers seeing cliff gorillas / Sasquatch? I barely remember the conversation. No, that I don't believe that was here. Maybe it was. I stream a lot, kids. Yeah. Pete says the Miami Mall shit was swept under the rug fast. No one will talk about it. I never even heard of it. Never even heard of it. Fun fact, says Sci-Fi Swamp Man. The Aztec Empire all the way down in South America was migratory. Their origin was discovered in North America on the property of Skin motherfucking Walker Ranch. That place is crazy. That place is like some kind of ley line fucking bullshit. Moundville in Alabama, the whole Mississippian civilization. DeSoto's expedition apparently saw one of those. Maybe Moundville in Alabama stand or one in the SIP. Hey, the SIP is Mississippi. I learned that today. Jeff W., what's up, brother? It's good to see you, man. I heard about the Miami alien encounter when it was happening. Then it went away. If the moon was made of spare ribs, would you eat it? I love you, man. I love Jeff. It's good to see you, man. I never heard about this Miami alien mall portal bullshit. I never heard about this. Never. Now I got to go find it. Pete says, I feel these large megalithic structures are all pre-flood. What about the one that's off the coast of Japan underwater? I mean, that shit's all right angles. That doesn't occur in nature. Those cultures found them and occupied them. My key trip is confidential. Oh, shit, dude. Really? I got secret level clearance. Come on, man. Let me know. Shit. Australia has the Yowie. That is correct. Yeah. Australia's also got a bunch of pussies. So I've seen. Check out California, Calaveras County. You got it, dude. Let's go. Boop. California, 471. Calaveras County, 9. Right there. Boop. There you go. On the screen just for you. I'll click on that shit. There you go. No Class A sightings. Class A being visual. But there you go. I'll leave it on the screen while we chit-chat. One of those 66 sightings in Ontario was just Jay Bartlett going to Tim Hortons. First of all, I've spent time with Mr. Bartlett, aka Bardo, in person. He's not squatch sized. I'll tell you that right now. He's a very awesome guy, and I love him to death. He is gravitationally challenged. A little bit. Maybe more than a little bit. Yeah. Red Dead and GTA are all the confirmation I need. Yeah, I was also today years old when I found out that Grand Theft Auto has a Sasquatch in it somewhere. Ohio sightings are just meth heads seeing their own dogs. All these like the meth heads that are just like completely lost to it, or like the fentanyl zombies. We got to get rid of them. I think the whole bleeding heart thing only goes so far. The Titan. Oh man, I see it. I believe there's a deleted scene that shows that Bigfoot was the creator of the Enigma machine in U571. He probably did. Yeah. He probably got the idea from aliens, and then he made it for the Reich and the painter, and that's how they went and found, the Lost Ark of the Covenant. I think we cracked that code, kids. Yeah. Raymond Sheffield, what's up, brother? In Canada, we don't have Bigfoot, just hairy mustache women named Large March that look like Jabba the Hutt. Do they kind of look like this?
Chad, how insensitive of you.
What do you think? Ugh. God. Check the tube for footage of the guy who built Coral Castle, and he explains and shows how he did it, as well as explaining his unknown machines. Yeah, you guys can you can go do that. Crystal clear. I'm Curious about how many sightings there have been in China and North Korea. Maybe this question was asked before I showed it. But China has 11. There you go. It's all in media articles, right? BFRO is not really all that international, but they just pull articles. Yep. There have been lots of reports about red, right? The Yeti or the Bigfoots. I don't know what the pluralization is. They're like red. So yeah. There you go. 11. 11 in the China. North Korea, not even on here. Other countries and regions. Let's see. Afghan U.S. soldier views unexplainable object. Ugh. Himalayas, Yeti, howling Amazon monster. Okay. I don't see shit for North Korea. North Korea's communist. I mean, don't they fucking hide everything from everybody anyway? Thievin. Hey, Thievin. I saw a Bigfoot. Those tires were huge. Let's see what you did there. I remember a large triangular flying wing flew over Chicago suburbs, slow, low, and silent. Air Force aliens. Gus, you married a fucking Sasquatch. Oh, man, if anybody gets a reference. JLS says, I have a comic book called Star Wars Tales where the Millennium Falcon cracked. Yep. Chewie starts the Bigfoot lore after Indiana Jones finds the skeleton. Yeah. Bigfoot is just a dude playing the dude disguised as another dude. Yeah, I know about that. Phoenix Lights were a bunch of prototype drones gone off course. See, like, honestly, who here trusts the government? You know? But if that was the no shit explanation, I would go, okay. Yeah. Bear 11 Charlie is heading into his VA appointment. I love you, my dude. Don't let them amputate the wrong leg. If you know, you know. New shirt idea. I stream a lot, kids. No. No. We're gonna do the what is it? Let's keep the hobby clean. Yeah, we're gonna make that. We're making that shirt. All communist propaganda. Because that's what they are. What about all the giants that are found in various government agencies remove the bones? Tales of giants go back throughout lots of civilizations. In fact, there's a lot of megalithic structures where, you know, the handed down verbal history was that they were constructed by giants. So I don't know. I don't swim anymore. Last time I went swimming, there are a lot of reports afterwards of megalodon sightings. Get it? Get it? Bueller? Oh my God. Mike Joseph says Kurt Russell was flying a plane in between Phoenix and LA and reported the Phoenix Lights to the FAA. So he's on official record. Dude, that's crazy. Just another example as to why Kurt Russell is not only the fucking man, but he's a national treasure. Yep. And as much as I love David Hayter, how much cooler would Kurt Russell be if he was the voice of Solid Snake? Mother Slug says, you know how smart everyone always says the Aztecs are because they supposedly built the step pyramid? But do you know, celebration of the Aztecs, they played soccer and used a human head as a ball? Yes, they did. Yep. They had the hoops. Yeah. That was the thing. Yeah. Yeah. They, a lot of those ancient civilizations were very big on sacrifice. I can teach a dog to skateboard, but I can't teach a dog to make a skateboard. Nope. Oh my God. You guys are retarded today. Aztec was always better SUV than a shit-ass Cybertruck. I'm late. I have Sasquatch and pie. Nice. Are the black rooms I thought you guys wanted to talk about fucking Bigfoot. Maybe Yowie came out of Pine Gap like that monster came out of Montauk. Oh my God. Australia has the Sheila. Jesus. California has the largest sighting of bushless blue-haired Wookiee ravers. I would argue the bushless part. A lot of them are real fucking hairy, man. Red Dead Redemption has a Bigfoot also, but you never see it. He talks to you from his cave. Seriously? James Lucas. When I was a kid, there were supposed Bigfoot sightings in the small Michigan town where I went to school. They even had a t-shirt at the local store. Do you know what county that small town was in? Because I got Michigan right here, 227 sightings. Oh, where's the fucking map, man? There it is, right there. There's all your Michigan sightings. Michigan. Sasquatch have hairbrushes like a hairy bush Wookiee. Gross. Denny Geek, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Council of Jeffs is in effect. I did a foot mold at my podiatrist, and we both looked at it and said, that's a Sasquatch print. He made cast and displays in the waiting room. How big is your foot, dude? In British Columbia, we get Sasquatch sightings a lot. In design says Skunk Ape. Yep, Skunk Ape. There are no Sasquatch in North Korea because Kim Jong-un defeated them all in hand-to-hand combat. Did you not read your North Korean Bible? Well, I mean, I know that every household has to display like propaganda photos of them. Yeah. Sightings in North Korea are actually citizens trying to escape in ghillie suits. I don't know if they call them citizens. Pete says, if you are lucky enough to be allowed to tour Hang Son, cave system, they tell you not to wander at night and to ignore the sounds of hurt women or crying babies. What is that, like something trying to lure you? My drone post was a silly joke, dry humor. But, I mean, seriously, I don't know. I believe there's something up there, not sure if what I seen was classified military or UFO. I seen twice. Bright orange glowing ball that flew over my house 2 different nights. There you go. See? And I bet you if you had an encounter with something screaming in the fucking wilderness and like knocking on trees, maybe you would consider that. Can I do a shameless plug of one of my favorite Sasquatch YouTubers? Yeah, man. 100%. Let it fly. Ooh. Giants are the bloodlines of the Nephilim. I've heard that too. I actually love this stuff. I love Art Bell. Rest in peace. I've said it before. I don't know if anybody remembers, but I was a guest on Art Bell's Coast to Coast when Art Bell was still around. Back in 97, something like that. I'm going to leave it at that. Allegedly, there's a building in South Korea that they had to build to hide a crashed craft. It was too big to move. by the crash retrieval teams. I have not heard that. Ladies and gentlemen, Milt Connors with the $2 super chat. Thank you, my friend. It says U571 Goonie Goo Goo.
Everyone does it. Now you can do it too. Shut your mouth. Shut up. Shut the hole in your face. Like that.
Ooh. That was worth $2. Thank you, Milk. I appreciate you, my dude. Maybe Bigfoot are the Gorlocks we ran from all along the way. I don't know. Yeah, Chupacabra, the goat sucker. St. Clair County. Four on record. There you go. Yep. Number of listings, most recent report, last posted. There you go. St. Clair County, right there. Was that Ragaru? Is the worst, in my opinion. They sneak around the swamps. Reportedly, they can tell the difference between their victim and alligator attacks. Jesus. Gerard O'Connor says, at this stage, at least we could qualify Bigfoot as a citizen, unlike all the other unwashed, unvetted fucks breaching our shores. Yeah. I don't even have a clip for, hell yeah, that was awesome, except for Wolverines, and I just played a clip. But you are not kidding. Yeah, absolutely. I thought I saw Bigfoot once. Turns out it was just Diana Davis. Have you seen that woman in person? Oh. Ugh. Have you, Raymond? You ever been in like the same 3 feet of space as Diana Davis? North Korea has a list of 7 hairstyles men can have. But hey, all these communists in the fucking toy collecting community. Communism is so great. It's so great. I wonder how many of those fucking weird toy activists watch Hassan Piker. I'm sure the number is probably shocking. I dated a Sasquatch once. I told her to shave her upper. Oh, my Jesus. The Titan says, Pennsylvania, mini Bigfoots, August 2026. 2 witnesses in Indiana and Westmoreland counties reported seeing shorter, hair-covered humanoid figures running near rural roads. When you say kiddos, maybe, do you mean juvenile squatches? Or do you mean like feral children? What do you mean? I can see something screaming and tapping on windows in Philly all the time. Oh, my God. Yes, we talked about this. Mm-hmm. That is a story that has definitely made the rounds in all the CHUs, containerized housing units. Yep. Hey, Big M wants to remind everybody that Boog invented not believing in Bigfoot. He did invent everything. Goody Cuckoo Gus. If unknown intelligent primate, it makes me uncomfortable that it always goes to get rid of dogs and other watch animals as it does its night probes. Wow. What are we probing? What are we probing? Peter Kane here on YouTube claims, oh, yeah. Yep. I know. Them Sasquatch is be eating people. Lots of hairy female foots in Watertown, New York. Yeah. Yep. I think everybody's seen that. Batstan, what's up, man? I'm late. The community was trying to hold me hostage. Oh, no.
Community, and community.
Yeah. Washington has a protected status on Bigfoot. It is illegal if you shoot one there. Is that accurate? Is that true? Washington State? It does have the highest number of recorded sightings right there, 732. Harry and the Hendersons is the only Bigfoot I know of. Man, the ending is like it's sad, but it's heartfelt and it's awesome at the same time. Yep. Yep. Rest in peace, Kevin Peter Hall. When did that happen? Is it like a while ago and I just don't remember? I've heard this too, yeah. Just read this, kids. I'll give you 5 seconds to read this. Jesse knows stuff. He knows things. Yep. You've eaten Sasquatch? Yeah. Yeah, I know he played the Predator. I don't remember him dying. Maybe I just forgot. Watch, it was like 8 fucking years ago or something, and I just brain dumped it. Anyway, that's like all we got. There's like, I don't know, just looking at the BFRO website, there's a lot of stuff on here. Reports, let's see. He passed away a while ago. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Geographic database of Bigfoot, Sasquatch sightings and reports. Comprehensive database is of credible sightings and related reports, maintained by an all-volunteer network of researchers, archivists, and investigators in the United States and Canada, the BFRO. If you've had a sighting, if permitted by the witness, no. So yeah, I mean, this is kind of what we already cruised through, right? Cruise through that. I want a BFRO hat. Let's go. Frequently asked questions. Oh shit! Here we go. Were people talking about bodies? Let me make this a little bigger here. Bigger. Do Bigfoot slash Sasquatch, it is so hard to say that, bury their dead? The topic of Squatch burying their dead has been discussed within the BFRO and the Bigfoot community. It's quite possible they bury their dead. They may have learned this by watching First Nations people, the Indians, and the first white settlers to North America burying their dead. It does appear that this species may be aware of its own presence and realizes it can be found by leaving tracks. This was evident in the finding of the Skookum body print. We're probably going to click on that link. This could also explain why so few tracks are found. This type of behavior demonstrates a form of higher intelligence, so it makes sense that Squatch learned to bury their dead to hide the remains. However, we currently have no proof to support this. There you go. I heard the Squatch prefers cremation. Apologize if this was brought up, but didn't they accidentally kill Bigfoot in the movie Strange Wilderness with Jonah Hill? I don't know. I don't even know. Ladies and gentlemen, Crystal Clear invented shut the fuck up. Fair enough. I've seen plenty of videos of Sasquatches. They're mainly spotted at those pro Alphabet Mafia rallies. Yep. It's coming right for us. Damn, he died in 91. That's why I forgot. Holy Moses. Yeah, that's a brain dump. Menjosa said, I read that the Army Corps of Engineers published a chapter on Bigfoot. Chapter in what? In what? Right? because there's TMs and FMs, right? If you know, you know. So they posted a chapter in a what? A field manual, which is an FM, or a TM, which is a training manual. Did you get to the New York Fair Expo of the Bigfoot body? Nope, that hasn't even been brought up. Not even a little. You just brought it up. I thought she was that weird little thing from Land of the Lost, not a squatch. Yeah, I don't know. The Alaska town one was the worst. People kept vanishing and they got eaten and beaten to death. Well, yeah, again, we already talked about that. When are we getting our late night Chad Gone Squatching stream? Ooh, there was almost some murder in there. There was almost some murder. Never. The answer is never. It's not Squatch you got to look out for. It's that damn bush Wookie. I think that's the first time you mentioned this bitch. You want to say it? Say it.
Oh, I said I love Bigfoot.
Here's the ma'am, everybody. Do you want to tell them your story?
I have to go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry. She can't tell you the story.
But I saw Bigfoot. He lives in the forest out in Hopewell.
I brought up the BFRO website and I showed all the Chama sightings. See? Mm-hmm. If you know what the ma'am does, then you know. But I'm not going to broadcast it because there are people that want to do bullshit. I don't believe you. I don't believe you at all. Not even a little. The $6 Million Man and Bionic Woman fighting Bigfoot in multiple times. Now that's epic television. That is true. That did happen. Yep, that happened. Yeah, notice how she didn't go like completely like murderous. That's because that's her mom that walked in. I knew it was her mom that walked in the door. Off topic. Did Paul Bunyan exist? I can believe a 7-foot-tall lumberjack lived and the story was stretched to a tall tale, making him bigger and badder, but I can't believe in a blue ox. Fair enough. 1975 Washington State Environmental Atlas that was done by the Army Corps of Engineers. No shit. Gotcha. Friday the 13th, part 60, Jason versus Squanch. Those damn squanches never learned to stay away from Jason's woods. Jeffy, thank you for... Huh? Oh, she's talking to the kid. Sorry. Jeffy, thank you for the $2 super chat, my friend. It says, keen reminder, become a channel member to join the Discord. Mm-hmm. There you go. Appreciate that. Man married a Bigfoot. I'm a big dude. I'm a big dude. Again, a lot of people don't realize how big I am. Dude, you see me in your physical space. I'm quite large. That's what she said. Okay. I'm pretty sure you're fucking taking the piss here. Because Ookla the Mock came long after Chewbacca. Chewbacca was inspired by George Lucas's dog, Indiana, which was a Malamute, I believe. And that's why in Last Crusade, Henry Jones Sr. says, we named the dog Indiana. Yeah. So no. What if the ox was named Blue? And they're going to say, you're my boy, Blue. Mm-hmm. Did you just call my wife Mama? Did you? That's my wife. Just kidding. Yeah. So anyway, I want to look at this. What the shit? Tracks of several different animals are found the next morning. Among the others are some relatively indistinct impressions in the firmer mud, firm, along the edge of what had been a puddle the night before. Trackers soon realized what they're looking at. The Sasquatch had apparently walked up to the edge of the puddle, then sat down and leaned its forearm against the mud in order to stretch and extend the other arm out over the water. As it lay on its side and edged toward the puddle, it couldn't avoid leaving a few clear impressions of its ankle, forearm, hip, and thigh. There you go. That's a lot of stuff going on there. Bloop. Hey, do you guys want to learn how to become a member of the BFRO? I don't. Jack, paint me like one of your Sasquatch. The dog? Yeah, exactly. Come on. You guys know that I know. Does Squanch climb trees? Bigfoot are most likely a primate species. Most primate species spend a lot of time in trees, and all primates, including humans, are partly adapted to climbing in trees. Several credible witnesses have described seeing squanches in trees. Often, the figures seen in the trees were thought to be juvenile squanches. I could see that reasoning. As with bears, most squatches may be able to climb trees, but they may spend less and less time in trees as they grow older and heavier. Yeah, it's like, yeah. Mother Slug, I think Bigfoot became a story from a drunk dude in the woods, maybe rifle hunting, and thought his friend was a new creature, but it was actually his naked drunk friend covered in mud. I get the joke of that. However, stories of these creatures go back through many, many, many civilizations over millennia. So, yeah. Here we go. Hey, remember this footage? Wasn't this all shown to be fake? The short answer is no. Da-na-na-na-na-na, tree squanching. Mm-hmm. The short answer is no. Man, if that was a suit back then, the way that shit moves, I don't know about that. These images are copyrighted and shown by BFRO with exclusive permission. Oh, shit. I might get busted. The longer answer. Here we go. Let's talk about the Patterson footage. Patterson footage has never been debunked as a hoax. No one has ever demonstrated how it was done. Neither the original, quote, costume, nor a matching costume has ever been presented by honest skeptics, nor by various imposters who claim to have worn the costume. Large amounts of money have been spent trying to make a matching costume. The best Hollywood costume design talents have been brought to the task, but have never succeeded. The BBC, fucking BBC. The BBC is what happens when you have a democracy, not a constitutional republic, because you want to talk about some fucking state-sanctioned bullshit television. BBC spent the most money so far trying to debunk it. They failed miserably. The side-by-side results are shown below, which we'll get to. Every attempt and failure to make a similar costume strengthens the case for authenticity of the Patterson footage. Comparing a man to a costume side-by-side with the Patterson creature in motion highlights the striking anatomical peculiarities. Did Matt Moneymaker write this? I don't know. I know who Matt is. We'll get there. If you hear debunking claims in the future, be ready to ask the obvious questions. Oh, they're setting you up. Where's the costume? If the original costume is gone, why can't they make an identical costume to do it again? Why does the news media always trumpet every half-baked man in the costume story? Right. Okay. Yeah, BBC did try to debunk the Loch Ness Monster, Dan. Yeah. Watch this. Hey, kiddo. You don't need to get on camera. Do you believe in Bigfoot? Yeah. See, she does. My kid's smart. You guys are dumb. She said, duh. Are you leaving? Yeah. Oh, hold up. Give me a second. Oh, sorry about that. I heard it end. I apologize for that. It is what it is. Let me see what the chat's all about. Wait, this is the theme from Predator? Yeah, man. It's a heavy metal version of it. Mm-hmm. BBC didn't pay no. I ain't giving no months of no tree fitty. No. I'm going to make a Bigfoot outfit and stage walks in the woods here. Let's see how fast I get shot by a hunter. How many of us have seen the footage of that fucking weird mentally ill wokey that thinks she's a dog, and then the dog comes up and just mangles the shit out of her? Yeah. Don't F-A and you won't F-O. Anyway, back to this. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, we're talking about tabloid, commercial programming, X creatures. Okay. They exploit consistent popularity of the Bigfoot subject. Whatever. I just want to see the comparisons. The Titan. Why did Bigfoot cross the road? To prove he's not a chicken, just legendary. Womp womp. Patterson costume could not be recreated in Hollywood. Costume in quotes. Tried to debunk the Patterson footage by showing how a skilled Hollywood makeup artist could assemble a matching costume and how the footage can then be perfectly recreated at the actual location. Sounds simple and logical. That's why they were given a lot of money to find and hire a leading Hollywood costume maker. I guess they didn't go to Stan Winston. How could it go wrong if they had plenty of money to pay for the world's best fakers? The images below show what Packham and Appleby delivered. I was going to make an Applebee's joke, but it didn't happen. They're proof that the Patterson footage is a hoax. It is bizarre to watch this show. At one point, there was a split screen with the two moving figures side by side. Chris Packham's narration proclaims he has accurately recreated the hoax. All right, let me, bro. Regardless of how you feel about Bigfoot, do these things look similar? Yeah, I don't know about that. Those do not look the same. Yeah. Anyway. Blah, 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 blah. Whatever. I think we're kind of there. Here we go. Where's the physical evidence? Let me make this a little smaller. Is there any physical evidence at all? It's weird when you're doing this on one screen when you're looking at another. The short answer is yes. There's quite a bit of physical evidence. Tracks, hairs, scat, that's poopy, and tree damage are all physical evidence. People tend to misuse this phrase when they really mean physical remains. That's kind of true. For an updated overview of the scope of evidence, please refer to all fucking Wikipedia, boy. Evidence versus remains. The assertion that there is absolutely no physical evidence is false. There's more physical evidence than most people realize. Physical evidence is found every month in various locations across the country. America. Distinct tracks that do not match other animal tracks, hairs that match each other but no known wild animal, and large poopy that could not be made by a known species are all physical evidence. That's a big pile of shit. Presence or absence of physical remains is a wholly different matter. Physical remains means body parts or fossils of body parts. Though mammals may leave tracks, scat, and hair behind, they do not leave body parts behind very often. Body parts of mammals are only available when they die. Thus, availability of physical remains is initially determined by population size and lifespan. A rare species with a long lifespan will leave very little physical remains, collectively for humans to find. The probability of humans actually finding and collecting and identifying, you should have used more commas, and identifying those remains before they are completely reabsorbed into the biomass complicates the physical remains as evidence equation dramatically. Sci-fi Swamp Man talking about that fake ass suit. My recently deceased 7'6" uncle, rest in peace, Fred. Rest in peace to your uncle. Had a more convincing Chewbacca costume in 1978. Yeah. The man that actually wore the Patterson suit blows the whistle and says it was faked and he never got paid what he was promised. I have not heard that. Steven says, clearly the one on the left is a Squatch and the one on the right is the Brown Grinch. Yeah. That's the BBC. Their producers never watch their own shows. Blech. Do you guys remember when the BBC was good? Monty Python, Benny Hill, Young Ones. You guys remember the Young Ones? Fucking love that show. Mm-hmm. Section below addresses scenarios such as natural deaths, road kills, hunter kills. Meh. How come there's no Bigfoot roadkill? Oh. Did somebody do a census? How many Bigfoots are there? I don't know. Short answer, no one knows. And no one will ever know for sure. There are only estimates. The informed estimates range from roughly 2,000 to 6,000 individuals for all of North America, including Canada and southern Alaska. Estimating abundance of an animal population is as complicated as it is inexact. There are many different formulas and methodology for estimating population sizes, all of which depend on at least a few specimens being available to study, tag, and or take subsample counts. Wow. This is a lot of bullshit. I think we're good. Yeah, rare elusive species such as wolverines or Bigfoots. Oh, shit! Such as what? We're a rare elusive species, kids.
Wolverines! Wolverines! Hell yeah!
Oh, shit. There we go. You guys saw it. It's right here. There it is. Rare elusive species such as the wolverines, also known as the Chad holes. Mm-hmm. The only numbers that serve as counts are the credible sighting reports from the public. That brings in a lot more subjectivity in the process because it boils down to a matter of opinions, right? As to which reports are reliable enough to be part of that count. Also, observability factors for the most elusive animals are more subjective and basically impossible to test. We've talked about several examples of rare elusive species of animals. Giant squid, right? Apparently the Tasmanian tiger, right? They did not go extinct and they're being found on trail cams, but nobody can really find them. So I don't know. I wear a 13 wide shoe. Am I secretly a Sasquatch? No, because I wear a 14.5 wide and I'm not a Sasquatch. Try buying shoes. Bullshit. No, sir. Giant squid versus Gorlock, kids. Who wins? Who wins? Giant squid or Gorlock? Let's look at the poll. Yeah. It is science. I just played a clip, so. See, here's the thing about pardon me, all this kind of stuff. This guy claims he wore the Patterson footage suit. There are people who claim that all Bigfoot, tracks and prints by, rivers and bodies of water and all this stuff are them just wearing like shit over their shoes. There's also people, there are people who have shown, oh, this is how I do it. And I don't think the prints look the same, right? Is one thing when you have like, natural foot movement. And then there's another where you're just wearing some shit on the bottom of your shoe. There's also the people who've shown how they make crop circles, right? And they claim, oh, every crop circle was made by us. Well, there's crop circles found all over the world. So you couple of knuckleheads with like your strings and your boards, you made every crop circle ever. So I don't know. People can claim a whole bunch of shit. So I don't know. By the way, kids, Batman Nightfall Part 1 is out. Yep. It'll be available physically next month, but it's out there digitally now. I'm probably going to watch it when we're done here. But I also have to watch Legend for Tim Curry. I do want to close this poll, though, and see where we're at. Robert Pattinson, the actor who plays Batman, is also Bigfoot. Robert Pattinson sucks. He sucks. I don't know. Giant squid have 8 arms and take on sperm whales, but I bet Gorlock likes the calamari. Probably. Gonzo, what's up, man? It's good to see you, brother. What a weird episode. I did this because you guys wanted to talk about freaking cryptids and the Squatch. And here we are. You guys wanted to talk about freaking cryptids and the Squatch. Anyway. I hate having to pull up my own stream. Holy shit. Let's end this poll, but it looks pretty overwhelming. Today's mandatory poll. Do you believe Sasquatch is real? It's a close-ended question, yes or no. 74% said yes. 26% said no. Wow. That's crazy. HGC, Chad, when are we doing the ghost episode? 2 weeks. I already have next week's built out. I just got to finish the thumbnails and post them up. But yeah, next week's ready to go. Yeah, we could do ghosts in 2 weeks if you guys want. But again, anybody that ever has a suggestion or an idea for a mandatory fun episode, just throw it out there. No, not October. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Bob Hermione Granger knew and was friends with Patterson and Gimlin, and he claims he was supposed to be paid by them for wearing the suit and keeping his mouth shut. He can claim that all he wants. Again, right? A lot of people claim stuff. Yeah. Oh, we got to get through September. Yeah, we got to get through September. There it is. Yeah, the crew of U571, they definitely loved their calamari. Shit's never going to go away. Oh, snap. What's up? I don't believe in Squatch, but yesterday my neighbor Gus. That's a perfect running joke for this episode. Who never introduced me to his wife sends her gurney goo-goo. What about a show about the mystery where Gorlock comes from? I think there's your answer right there. No Gorlock. Not doing that. That's not going to happen. I am a little surprised by that poll. 74%. That is over freaking whelming. There we go. Tyler says bye if you're leaving. Well, yeah, we've been going 3 hours and 21 minutes and 53 seconds. Yeah, I think we successfully discussed the cryptid known as the Squatch, Bigfoot, Yeti, skunk ape, whatever. And again, if you're a believer, you're a believer. If you're a skeptic or a non-believer, it's not like this was going to change any minds or anything. It's, just interesting little topic. You guys wanted it. Right. I just laid it out. Could do one on historical aircraft and one on fictional aircraft. We could. Bunch of gullible nerds here. Damn, dude. Holy Moses, this guy's coming out swinging. HGC says, I, for one, am very glad to have been here today to spread the word of the skunk ape to all the chat holes. Yeah. We shall see each other again tomorrow. Yes, we shall. 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. What the hell are we talking about tomorrow? I don't know. I got to go look. Oh, fans do the best work. That's what we're talking about tomorrow. I'm excited for that one. We're going to look at all sorts of independent toy creators. Tons. It'll be freaking rad. Can't wait for that. Anyway, so I want to thank all of you for joining me today on this vastly different topic about Bigfoot and cryptids, and somehow we started talking about aliens and shit, ancient civilizations and giants, and the Nephilim and God, and on and on and on. Weird day, but it is hump day. That being said, thank you very much for joining me, and hopefully I will see you tomorrow for your Thursday dose of mandatory fun at 2 p.m. Eastern. You guys know all the usual stuff like Rockstar lost money, blah, blah, blah. Fuck Naughty Dog. I got nothing. Anyway,
Still here? It's over. Go home. Go.
Yep. I would be remiss if I didn't say hello to my good friend Jeremy Jernigan, aka the Ghost Daddy, who decided that showing up 3 hours, 26 minutes, and 5 seconds after we started, aka at the very fucking end of the stream. So good to see you, Jeremy. And it's just, it's just kind of is what it is. So yeah. I do like the Dr. Squatch. I get the heavy grit soap. If you know, you know. The pine tar one. It's really good. Actually, better late than never. Yeah, 100% better late than never. Can't go wrong with that. Have a good evening. Enjoy yourselves. Remember to go watch Something Awesome with Tim Curry in it to celebrate the life and works of a fucking awesome actor. And peace out. Fine. Whatever. Then we're leaving.
Just checking in. Have you drank water today? Did you eat? Did you take your meds?